From the Kodiak Farm Studios, it's Bob and Lee.
I barely made it.
Did you hear me in the middle? I unmuted and said live from the Kodiak Farm Studios. It's Bob and Lee.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that one. I had to go get something to drink. I forgot to turn the soundboard, everything on.
We got a couple people already waiting to get in. Dang. So, yeah. So how's your day been, Lee?
Another long one.
Everyone.
Yeah, they haven't ordered me another crane because the load that come in, the weights were incorrect on the paperwork.
And so they ordered you a new crane?
Yeah, because the one that they ordered for this lift ain't big enough now since the paperwork's off, so they had to order me a bigger one.
That's big enough to lift those stacks of honey that your hives are making?
I wish. Heck, I mean, we getting a little rain now, so I'm hoping our nectar will pick up on the tallow. But I mean, it's just been trickling in lately. It ain't like it has been the past couple of years.
Well, I put out some super, super, super thin syrup the other day. And when I say super thin, I took 1 5-gallon pail of 2-to-1, split it in half, right? Which, because it's 2-to-1, there's already water in it. And then I filled it up, right? And then I split those again and filled them up again. So
basically 1/4 to 1.
Yeah, less than, I would say it's less than 1/4 to 1. And dump that in the open feeder. And my bees were slaying it. I mean,
well, let's see.
20 gallons.
If you split it in half one time, that'd be 1-to-1 then.
Supposedly.
So if you split it again, that should be like 1/2 to 1 then, not 1/4 to 1.
I don't know. I think it's less than that because 2-to-1, you already got water in it, right? It's not straight sugar.
Well, no, but I mean, it's 2 parts sugar, 1 part water.
But then when you split that in half and fill it half a bucket and you're adding half again water, so the water content is higher. Someone was explaining it to me. I don't know. My math's probably wrong. But anyway, without further ado, let's bring people in. Chris was here first, so we're going to add Chris first. Welcome to the Bugman, 1966. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Chris? How you
doing? What is that ugly blue and yellow you got on there? Yeah. I worked at Michigan State, right? So I got to say go green.
I'll watch Michigan State if they're not playing Michigan.
I got the Game of Drones on tonight. 1/2 to 1 is what DC's saying. So
yeah, that's what I mix mine at.
So what is he wearing? He looks like a rustler. Is this Sting, ladies and gentlemen? In the little thing, it really looked like you had.
Yeah, it looked like big glasses.
Like you had Gene Simmons things on your. I was like, what's he wearing? He looks kind of like Sting. Did you have like a emote on or something, a filter, Alex?
What?
Oh,
I was sorry.
Welcome to the show, Alex.
Once you brought him up full size, the thumbnail at the bottom don't look like that no more. But it looked like he had the big tall glasses on.
Yeah, it's the reflection of the screen on my glasses.
Oh, okay. It looked like you had Gene Simmons outlines on your face. I was like, is he using some kind of filter or something? It's all good.
No, it's because my browser is in white, and I've never bothered turning it black, so it makes for nice reflections in my glass.
So how's your bees?
I went to check the grafts. 27 out of 30 took.
That's what's up.
So I don't know if James would think my star finisher was good enough.
It was good.
I did something right.
So yeah, hey, take it. Now they just got to hatch. You get 27 out of 27 hatching.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be the same number when I get there on this weekend.
How do I tolerate them noisy? I'm a country boy. We have noisy tires down here. They're mud tires, and I'm riding them down the concrete. But I will agree, I do need new tires. But I don't agree on the new pricing they have for them, like $400 a tire. So I'm not trying to spend $1,600, which is funny because I spent $2,300 on Apis Biologics today. So priorities.
Well, one's going to make you money, and one's just going to cost you money.
Yeah, that's the hopes anyway. So, I was overstocked on control. And today, in one fell swoop, someone's like, send it all to me. I'm going to a show this weekend.
there you go.
So that's good. Had my website updated to show that, hey, you're out of stock on this item now. Then I wouldn't have got an order for some that I can't fill my control. Everything else on the order I can fill, but the control. So I'm going to have to either hold off sending it, or I'm going to have to send it and then send another pack, which is probably what I'll do. Send the first 3 and then send the last one when it comes in. I did have an update from the FAA. They said that they were having lots of bees checking out the boxes, and that they've caught a few swarms, but school has come to an end there. So they're hoping to be able to set them out earlier next year, since they already have all the equipment, and keep it going. And did you guys hear about my failed swarm today?
Yeah, we watched the video.
Yeah, you got to be really specific. I'm fine, and I know this. I've done it before, but for some reason, I assumed if I'm standing in the office and you call me and you say, "Hey, we got a bee swarm," I'm like, "Hey, send a picture to me that you're sending me one right now. Send me the one from right now, not the one from 10 o'clock this morning." I have company?
Yeah.
Who? Well, I'm busy. I can't do it.
Do you have a card with your number on it?
They have my phone number.
Well, then why don't they call you?
That's a great question. Why don't they? Tell them I'm on a live stream. Sorry.
They knew you were live, so they showed up.
It's usually phone calls. Oh, Bob's live. Let's call.
Speaking of
we'll call into the show. That's what I'm gonna start doing, taking calls and just call in. Go ahead, caller. And then it can be like, it can be like a long time listener, first time caller.
I got a little box somewhere around here I can actually plug into the soundboard and put the phone on it.
And the Firestone Transforce. How much are the Transforces? I was doing a look the other day, and it seemed like everything was $400. I've got Patagonias on there, and the problem I had is when I put the leveling kit / it raises the front and lowers, or kind of evens, makes the truck even, is that I didn't get the front end alignment. So the front tires make a lot of noise. The back tires sound great, but the front tires, and when I crack the window, it's really loud. So, yeah, it is a distraction on live videos for sure.
Did you remember seeing those tires that are on my truck when I came to see you?
No, I don't remember. What were they? Do you remember?
E- Eagles, something like that. But
Goodyear?
they only cost me 800.
Are they
All terrain.
35s?
Mm-hmm.
20-inch rims?
I got them on Amazon. Believe it or not.
And then you just took them to a shop and had them put them on?
$20 a tire. Yep.
That might be the way to go then. Lee, we've missed you.
Yeah, I missed that 1 week with the live.
Well, our plan is working. So the plan is not to go live as much. And I know that sucks because we like hanging out, but it will stop two things, hopefully. Stop us from getting burnout from doing it all the time. And stop the we caught him yesterday, we'll catch him next time, or you know what I'm saying, just a more consistent thing. Yeah, the 20 is the problem with the cost. I agree. And they all are all-terrain tires as well, but mine were a little bit more aggressive when I bought them. And
yeah.
And now, you know what? I saw a F-150 today when I was going to get that swarm that was $4,000. It made me think about selling my truck and just buying the $4,000 truck, since I drive the work truck all the time except for the weekends now, and just doing a swap out. But I like my truck too much with the speaker. I got a subwoofer in the back, so bumping down the road. But how's your bees doing, Chris?
Oh, they're doing great. I was in them today. I got 8 frames completely capped, so they're probably about 98%. I got about close to 5 gallons.
Nice.
That's cool. I might be able to get another 5 gallons out there the way everything's going this year.
Well, I did find out something though. The ones with the queen excluders weren't doing as good as the ones without the queen excluders. I got all those 8 frames from the ones that were no queen excluders.
So what I try to do is let them start drawing the comb with no queen excluder, then shake them back down in and put the queen excluder back on, and then they know to come up and they squeeze their little bodies through there. But if you mess around like I did, and all of a sudden you got 10 medium frames of brood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got that too.
Well, I did that.
Hey, but I don't mind babies.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. As soon as they hatch out, basically, as long as the queen's back below the excluder, all they're going to do is backfill that, and you got more foragers working then.
Exactly.
Well, I do.
That's the way I looked at it.
That colony that I had, I listened to Alex and shook the bees down, put the excluder on this weekend. Colonies are looking really good. Even the one that had the pile of dead bees in front of the nuke, that one looks really good. Matter of fact, I think it was like the purge. I think that's what it was, because those colonies were so heavily mited, right? And I treated them, and a lot of mites dropped. But we got that little cold snap, and next thing you know, all those bees have been evicted and dead. And you open it up, and you got a queen laying, you got baby bees, you got brood and larva and cap brood. So it's like, yep, the numbers did dwindle, but now there's like healthy bees hatching out. So hopefully that's the.
Well, as far as the queen excluders, like you was talking about, letting them come up, then drop them down, add your excluder. I used to do that, but now I really don't even run the queen excluders except on the colonies that I'm going to do comb honey on. I let them just lay up whatever they want to lay, and I just look at it as more foragers that are going to be bringing more honey into me. Because once they hatch, they're just going to start backfilling anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're starting to do now, is they're starting to backfill as they hatch out. So it doesn't bother me that much. It bothers me in the spring when they are loaded in those medium supers. Like I left the medium super on them last year, so she laid it up, and I could not get her to come out of there, no matter what.
Now, the only thing you have to worry about on that, I see, though, is the wax moths do love that brood comb. So once you pull your supers off for the year, if you're storing them, you're going to have to put something on them to keep the wax moth out.
Right.
Yeah, I got a refrigerator that I put them in.
Well, so I am disgruntled right now. I'm
Uh-oh.
pissed off beekeeper. I'm going to rant. Here's the rant. Are you ready for it? I paid $4,000 for a piece of equipment, and it's still not here. And matter of fact,
it's in town.
It's been in town since the 1st. And I've called the trucking company twice. They said it's been handed off, like it comes in, and then it's handed off to a, they call it a last mile shipper, right? Guys that come and get it and bring it to places that don't have loading docks. And it hasn't gotten here yet. So I know I'm calling it right now. Tomorrow, I'm going to be all swollen up, having had surgery, and they're going to put a $4,000 piece of equipment that's going to be sitting in my yard that I'm going to have to deal with on pain meds and, and world sucking tomorrow. So that's I already know. They haven't called me. They haven't texted me, but I know me, and I know it's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to happen tomorrow. Watch.
Well, plus it's supposed to rain 95% tomorrow out here.
Is that what we got tomorrow?
Yep, it's raining right now right here.
What do I got? No, I'm not supposed to get rain tomorrow.
No, we got. It's funny. They say it's a cold snap coming in, but it's 91 degrees. I haven't figured that out yet.
Maybe the low side.
Yeah,
91 today.
The TV was on when I walked in the door today, and they was talking about next week we're going to be in the mid to upper 90s. They said they expect and possibly hit 100.
All right, sting that like button. We got 40.
But they said it was a cold wave coming in. That's what's so funny.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be something tomorrow for sure. That's gonna happen. So I'll be out of work tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. So, and of course Saturday and Sunday. But it's got to happen. Got to get the teeth going, the old teeth, the broke teeth. So we're gonna get that taken care of. Maybe things start looking up from there. But the colonies are growing. Matter of fact, I don't know how long at 91 degrees you can keep eggs and larvae out of a colony and they be viable still.
Shouldn't be too bad at 91 as long as you don't have the air conditioner on.
Well, they were in the back of the truck in the box, riding there with no bee coverage, and all the way back. And then what I did is I put them in the center of another 5-frame box with some frames, and dropped that right on top of the colony it came out of. Right, so it should start drawing the bees up to the top. Hopefully.
Alex, you must have a mechanical keyboard, huh?
Yeah, sorry about that. Want me to mute when I type?
Oh, no, that's fine. I can just tell.
We are in smoke alert from Canada's fires. Is Canada still burning down?
Oh yeah, even in Quebec. Like I was typing to for Daisy's honey. Like the sky is orange here. Like you look up the like it's noon and the sun's like this big orange ball instead of the bright yellow, and the clouds are yellowish gray. So yeah, it's pretty intense.
Is anybody down here putting out dry pollen sub in the south? Have they tried it?
Not yet.
See if bees are hitting it?
Not yet. I haven't put it out. I still got a lot of flowers and nectar coming in.
Well, we've got some flowers.
I got wildflowers everywhere.
So you still have your feeder? You still keep feeding it underneath your swarm trap you got out there?
Yeah, I keep that all year round. Because if they go to it, they go to it. If they don't, they don't.
They're not hitting it right now?
Nope. They're heading on out, going right past it, actually.
Well, I know I put out the 20 gallons I was talking about a couple days ago, and they wiped it out. I mean, they chugged it down. Now, hopefully, because a lot of people were commenting on my nukes that there's no feed in that box. I don't see any feed. So, hopefully they're just storing it or feeding it to each other and stuff like that. But when you got 60 colonies, 20 gallons of near water, right?
Right.
That's not it won't affect them that much.
Well, the crazy thing is, when I was in my hives last week, I didn't have hardly any honey in them. This week, I've got 5 full frames.
So they started really working it then.
Yeah, they binging me in the head because I'm in their way.
That's
They're not stinging me. They're like, excuse me, you're in my way.
I got one of my colonies. The rest of them aren't really bearding that much. Maybe a little bit on the front. But then I had one colony like yours that was like the whole bottom box was just bees on the front. I'm like, when you added more space on that, did they actually move more in?
Yeah, they all went up further in.
Because
I didn't show you guys. I should show you on my next video I make. I bought 2 covers. I don't know if you noticed them in one of my videos. They're the white covers. They're actually airflow ones.
Really?
Yeah, they cool the hive down because it allows the heat from the hive to escape out. Yeah, out of it. And then the bees, when I open them up, all the bees are up there instead of outside the hive.
They're fanning it out.
Yeah.
Using brood to catch swarms are overrated. Yeah, I've never really used brood to catch swarms before. This was the first time I've tried it. Usually what I'll do is once I left them in there for a few days and opened them up, sometimes I'll go back and put a frame of brood in there just to keep them home in case they had any second thoughts, right?
I mean, it's not really no guarantee that it's going to catch them or help, but it don't hurt. The way I look at it. I mean, it gives them a little something to say, hey, we got something here we can take care of.
Well, I took that frame there because there was a few bees left on the house and set it on top of the ladder. And they were not really interested in it too much. I mean, a few of them went on there, but when I moved the frame to put it back in the box to load everything up, there were still, those bees went right back to the spot where they were.
Yeah, I use a certain liquid. It's called Swarm Rustler. Works great.
Yeah, well, I was so pissed off that
Very
I went all the way out there for nothing that I was like, yep, see you later. Those bees are yours. Have a good day. And left. I even walked across the street and talked to the Hispanic guy to see if he saw any bees fly by, you know. Hey, did you see any bees fly off? Because he was on the construction site across the street. And he didn't. He said he didn't see them. But it was a nice swarm had we been able to catch them.
Yeah, it looked like a good 3 to 4 pounder.
Yeah, I was excited about that one. And I even took 10 frames out there. I was like, yep, we're going to load this down. Nope, no bees. So that's how that went. So, Lee, you're making a little trip this weekend.
Yeah, I'm heading to Dothan. Go see Ed, son of one. And I believe we're going to meet up with Granny, too, Miss Lisa, and go have a little lunch.
Bruce is right down there, too. Maybe Bruce will show up.
You never know.
He's about 25 miles north of Mobile.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find out, how far they were and what they were doing Sunday. I might be swinging back by because I'll be coming across 10.
Making a little tour there.
Hey, Lee, I sent you an image of the cells being worked on. Unfortunately, you can't see them very well because there's too many bees, but there were 27 being worked on.
I was on email. You sent that?
Yeah.
Let's see.
It should have worked. Sent. Yeah.
I plug my phone in.
Sometimes it might take a minute to get here.
I wonder if they're going to gas me tomorrow or if I'll probably get a shot, right? That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, they'll do a local.
That'll be my thumbnail for next Friday's
You're just
video.
getting pulled, right?
2 of them, 1 on each side. 1 hurts, 1 don't. But they're going to knock them both out.
Yeah, I had a similar problem. One of my wisdom teeth, like the gum was partially over it, so it got a cavity. Had to have them removed.
Good
Look
looking.
like a pretty decent population in there.
Yeah, I dumped bees from 8 of my 10 production hives. 2 were too small to be worth it. And I took 6 frames of brood, hatching brood, plus like 1 to 3 frames of nurse bees from all 8 out of 10 hives.
We need everybody to come down here on the 4th of July, and then we'll go over to Chris's and we'll catch the fishing boat out in Charleston and just have a beekeeper fishing trip down in South Carolina.
Well, my boat only holds 6, so.
Well,
It might cost me a bit more.
Yeah,
It
get a
might cost me
charter.
a bit too much to get there. Sorry.
They don't have a cheap airline from Canada.
Honestly, I don't know.
They have like Spirit here.
Last time I took the plane was in 2005.
Let's see. Oh, I just deleted all this. Yep, there we go. Gone. Yep, so I sold all of my control today and then ordered more. I was talking to Andrew. Andrew's wanting to come back on here in the next few weeks and chat with us some more. He had a good time.
Yeah,
and
he coming out of his shell a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I think he's getting used to it. It's no big deal, right? So he was like, I was like, yeah, I sold it all, and now I'm gonna have to wait till the 8 days to get it or so. And he said, well, now you know my struggle. And I said, yeah. I said, I usually wait till I get like 10 packs and then I order some more, but because I don't really count on that big order coming through, right? Spirit used to run a $150 special from Ontario. There you go. And they fly, I think Spirit flies right into Charleston.
I think so. And from where I'm at, from there, it's only 25 minutes.
We could go out on the boat, catch us some fish. And have a good time. Take a before and after pic. That's what I need. Is normal face, and then it'll be all puffed up.
Kind of about like my face right now.
You got sunburnt?
I had like a little staph. I thought it was poison ivy, but ended up it was a little bit of staph, and I took the antibiotics, but they didn't, I guess, give me enough or long enough duration, and it pretty much knocked it out except for one little spot.
And now you got to wait on your body to fight it.
Nah, I went back. They gave me some more antibiotics that were stronger and a cream. So they said a couple of days it should be gone, but still take it for 10 days.
Speaking, you want to hear something? This is kind of gross. So I had like this pimple on the back of my neck right here, right? And it was growing and growing. I didn't know what it was. So I'm sitting here doing this and smashing on it. And it finally popped. And I looked at my finger. You know what it was? A bee stinger was in the back of my damn neck. And it somehow got embedded into my skin, the barb. And it turned into
infected.
Yeah, it is gross. But let you know if you don't get the stinger out, what's going to happen? You'll be all knotted up.
I think everybody's having problems back there because I got poison sumac on the back of my neck.
I haven't. You guys talk about my mean bees, but I haven't had. They've been pretty gentle lately.
Probably because you're in the flow.
Maybe.
I was about to say, generally, if they got a little bit of nectar coming in, even something to keep them barely busy, they're kind of preoccupied and ain't worried about tearing you up too bad.
Yeah, flow over here started because when I went this weekend, there was a flurry of activity. Like it was like an insanely busy airport, like bees coming in and out of the hives. It was something to behold. I love watching bees work.
You know,
I know. I think it was one day last week I was going through the colonies that I put Mark's Virgin Queens in, and they all back and mated. Now the little red dot on them you could barely see, so undoubtedly they've been working on cleaning that off. But after I went through 5 of them, no problem. The 6th one, picked the first frame up, found the queen right then. But one of the little workers in there wasn't too happy with me, I guess, and it popped me on the finger and it swelled my whole hand up.
Like
Damn.
there's always like this one bee that will not give up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always one.
I did.
I let it land on my face and I smash it, and then
did
you don't have to worry.
I did order something.
What you got?
A box. Another box.
The reveal.
Exciting.
3 boxes.
Pens.
No.
Oh,
Oh, the metal
Ah,
lid.
to make
Lid.
weird.
Solid lids. What's this for? When I drill the hole out in my migratory covers, that this will cap it until
okay.
until I put a jar in it, right?
Do
Yeah.
y'all have a whole lot of tallow there in South Carolina, or just a
Got
little
it
here and
some
there?
places. I don't know where.
I haven't seen any.
It doesn't show up as a major nectar flow by the standards of NASA.
I got these. I've got a bunch of yellow flowers that look like little daisies all over the place.
And we have privet. That glossy privet is like everywhere down here now. So
Oh, you talking about the white flowers?
yeah, on the tree, on the bushes and
Yeah.
trees. Yeah.
Yeah, I got those too.
And I know they work my trees, but I assume they work those as well. I did defile myself though this week. I did kind of, if you're a gamer or have been a gamer, still am. So have you bought the new Diablo yet?
No, I'm done with Diablo.
It's good, really good. And
I'm stuck on Arc.
Well, so I got the new Diablo, and then my wife wanted to play, so I upgraded my Xbox, and I say upgraded my Xbox, but she plays the Xbox. I play my computer, right? I use my computer to play
the PC
games, yeah. And so that's the newest thing that's going on.
I got a question for you guys. When you guys see your bee swarming, what do you guys usually do?
Well, I see
Honey.
where you put honey in the doorway. I've never.
Oh yeah,
tried
it worked. It works because it kept everybody there. It only lost maybe about 1,000 bees. That's about it.
I've seen Mr. Ed use like he was ringing his hive tool on a piece of metal.
Yeah,
and
tanging.
and all the bees of the swarm just came right back down.
I do.
I asked him a few questions about it. He says it works sometimes.
I used. I did the same thing that my buddy Steve did up in New York. He had a swarm. He took his swarm lure and sprayed it right on the side of the box, and they just break flight and come right to it. If it's if it's close, obviously if you have a swarm trap away, it's harder. But if you're like right in the middle of the cloud and you got a box there, spray it, they'll break and come back. And I did that when Mark was here, dropping those nukes off. And one of the nukes decided as soon as we moved it that it wanted to start to swarm. And we sprayed it. It came right back down. It actually was the weirdest thing because it came to the pro nuke that I sprayed with the lure. And then after about 5 minutes, it left that box, the swarm trap box, and swarmed right back to their hive that they were at. The whole colony. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then they just stayed right there. So
I need to try that next time. Just move my swarm trap over by the hives and just spray it on the side of the box.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it last year as far as trying to spray the lure, but I had one swarm in a tree in the backyard, and I went out there trying to tangle, and they didn't do nothing for me. They just took on off.
if you if you don't have a pro nuke, at least one.
Right.
If you didn't buy it, get one. Just one. I mean, they're the most useful things ever. This weekend, when I was working my bees, I saw a colony that they were doing okay. They just didn't have that much bee power in there. I just found that one that had the 10 frames of cap brood with the bees covering it. I took their mediums, right? So I took half of them, 5 medium frames, and I shook them into the pro nuke, and the ones that can fly out, and the ones that can't stay right there. And then you put a bottom board or something, a piece of wood or whatever, lean it up against the front of the hive, and just dump them out right there, and they'll just start walking up the board and walk right into the front of the colony. And instant bee power.
Yeah, speaking of bee power, I have 2 of my hives set up as resource nukes. And when I came in this weekend, they were bearding, as in they were too full. I pulled 5 frames of capped brood from that resource hive, and they were bulging out. So there were no cells. So I got there just in time. So now they're busy drawing new comb for all the other hives. That's the point of these.
The medium box had cells, some cell stars, some cups on the bottom of the medium frame. So I just took the frames out and went right across the bottom of them, scraped them all off, and put it back in. So hopefully that. All right, cool, James. 2 swarms in 2 days. I'm going. Well, I can't count the one today. It was a call. I've had 4 swarm calls in the last 5 days, 6 days. 4.
You should send your tally to a dirt rooster.
Do what?
You guys should send your swarm tally to dirt rooster.
Get in on their gamble. Well, I can't count it because I'm not trapping swarms. I'm getting swarms, right? When people call me, I'm not really setting out a box and letting them come.
Yeah, I've only caught 8 with my traps.
And they're right in your yard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mine, I've got 1 swarm trap in the back that I keep baited up just in case, emergency trap. I haven't been in this box. Listen to this. I haven't been in the box since 2017. It was like one of the first boxes I made. I hung it on the wall, on the tree, and just left it. The comb is probably all nasty and wax moth out and everything, but I do keep it baited. And you know, then I put colonies out that like have old comb in them that don't have any bees in them just in case. But you never know. Never know. Even if you got it out. And this is what I try to tell people. And that's why it's funny. Like on Amazon, I read the reviews when people leave reviews, and like they might, like one guy put a 1-star review, and he said he hadn't had any luck catching a swarm. He don't know if it's the lure or not. Right. But he didn't catch any swarms. So I'm sitting there thinking, so why did you rate the swarm lure? If you're not even sure it's the swarm lure, why are you giving it a bad review? You know, but whatever. There's nothing you can do about it. All I know is for some reason, some people are having great success and some people aren't, you know, and I
think it has to do with your area too, because the swarms in my area, a couple of years ago, I caught 3 swarms in 3 weeks in the exact same box, same location. I've caught 1 swarm this year. Well, I'd say a swarm. I went and got them out of a blueberry tree, but it wasn't in a box already.
Well, I mean,
they just hadn't been swarming here this year.
Just, you know, if I took Swarm Rustler and I sprayed it on this tape dispenser and set it outside, doesn't mean I'm going to catch a swarm on this tape dispenser. There might be bees that come smell it, right? That's what they're supposed to do. Come check it out. And then I'm like, oh, this is a box. Let's go inside. Oh, well, this is adequate space to live in. We'll move in there, right? That's all it's supposed to do. If you catch a swarm or not, there's lots of things about that box. You might have a double 10 frame deep up there, and maybe the swarm is too big, or maybe the swarm is too small for that area, or something
I'll say
like
too
that.
small. The only other swarm that I caught it and lost it this year. I had a double deep box sitting on a little table in the front yard by my driveway, and they had some bees swarmed into it when I come home from work. But by the time I got back out there, I was going to break it down to one, because when I opened the box and looked at it, it wasn't very many bees. And I said, well, I'm going to break it down.
I've
So I
caught
came
a
inside,
swarm.
done stuff. When I went back out, they were gone.
I've caught a swarm, moved it, put it here, left them locked up for 2 days, open them up, and the first thing they do is whoosh, fly out. Don't know why. Just happens. They just, for whatever reason, didn't like the box that I shook them into or whatever.
Yeah, I just usually remove the frames, and if they have comb that they're building on, normally they build comb underneath the frames. I just cut that off and put rubber bands and put it in the.
But now your swarm
the
trap,
frames.
Here's the thing that amazed me about your swarm traps. Excuse me, this year is that you didn't have any old comb in it. It was all brand new foundation, just waxed from the factory, and the swarm box in my lure.
Yep, that's it.
And what really amazed me, and I'm not gonna sit here. This is the first year I've had my swarm lure out, so all this is new, right? Everything that you guys are reporting is brand new stuff, and you had your swarms baited up with several different lures, not just mine. I was nervous about that because I was like, shit, it could go bad. It could go really bad, you know? And they
didn't go to the other ones. I mean, they did like the lemongrass one, because I did catch one swarm with the lemongrass, but other than that, they were just going to the one with.
You caught one with lemongrass and 5 with mine.
Yep, that's 7
out of 7, and you had Swarm Science in one.
Swarm Science,
and the Commander,
and one other I can't remember. I had like 5 different lures.
Brands.
Yeah.
Dan says the Buckeyes just flowered out. Must be near Ohio.
But for me, your lure's working great. So
the fastest Zergling in the control group. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, and that's how it's been. It's been, some people are like, wow, this is really working. And then some people are like, yeah, I haven't had much luck with it. But that could be where it's located.
And how much you spray in there.
How much you might have sprayed. I don't know how
I
much.
Spray a lot.
Yes.
I spray a lot in there.
And
I coat the. Go ahead.
And it also depends. Were there any swarms in the area?
Right. That's true.
Well, see, I started out with just my hive, and then I caught 8 swarms that weren't from my hive.
Well, people like at mine, they'll ask me, well, have you caught any swarms with it? No, because I don't put swarm traps out. I don't go around placing swarm traps. So it's hard to catch swarms and swarm traps when you don't place swarm traps.
I've had 3 out this year, but I hadn't caught none in my traps. But like I said, it to me, I don't think they're swarming very much this year. Any of my hives that I've got right now, with as much work as I've been doing and not being able to get in my bees, the times that I have went and checked, none of mine have swarmed.
None of mine have swarmed that I'm well. Abscond, yes. Swarm, no. I mean, I've gone out and there were bees in this box. There's not anymore, you know. That actually happened with my that battery, right? The 3.6 frames, the yellow box swarmed out. So what I do, take one of my nukes that needed to be expanded, that was in a 5 frame. I took it over to that box and dropped the whole thing in there. So was able to repopulate that box, and hopefully it starts taking off. But as far as the battery, it's not working very well for me this year.
Hey there, Tim and Hannah.
Is there any nectar or pollen on crepe myrtle? I don't know. That's a good question.
Crepe myrtle does pollen.
Pollen, no nectar?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Where's our dog? Where's the channel's dog at?
He's right here aggravating the cats. We're trying to keep him hushed up.
Hannah said he's sitting next to her.
Hey,
He just don't have his
Sailed
sunglasses
off.
on tonight.
Mm-mm. No, he just stole my sock. Though.
He just took her socks.
He's gonna chew your socks up.
Yeah.
He's got a bone right here, and he steals my socks.
Joey, you know, the swarm in here, early in the year, I caught a few, right? People calling me. And then this last week, they've been calling me. But in between, nothing. We had nothing. Luckily, none of mine have swarmed this year.
Nothing here either. 2 mating flights. That's close as we've gotten so far.
The Lee, do peanuts supply anything for bees?
That I have no idea. That might be something for Tim and Hannah, because I know they got a lot of peanuts in Alabama.
I can look it up with Mr. Google.
I don't think so. Most of your peanuts are self-pollinating.
Because I know the cafe where Renee
believe-
works down the road, all their peanuts, they go to California. They go to Alabama to get all their peanuts.
Well, I'm surprised Charlie isn't here because they were talking about the catalpa up there. I don't know if catalpa does it. Tim caught 3 swarms. None of them were mine. They were probably mine. Yeah, I haven't had any swarms out of my colonies, and knock on wood, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. That means I did good spring management, but I could just be fooling myself. They could have just been too weak.
Lost Tim and Hannah.
Lost Tim and Hannah. Disappeared on us. But so the next thing for me, assuming that my premonition is correct, that my uncapper shows up while I'm incapacitated tomorrow, which means I will have to get out in 90-degree heat or 80-something degree heat and break it out of its case and then somehow figure out how to drag it from wherever they drop it to the porch. And then I gotta pull honey. So we're gonna do pull honey, spin it out, and work on that. And then I don't even know when our fall flow will start. At this point, I don't know when anything's happening this year because of the way that the trees have been blooming and the bushes. Kind of wonky.
Bob, you was breaking up bad on us. What was you trying to say a second ago?
About the about what?
Oh no, we was breaking up real bad. I thought you was trying to say something before it cut off.
Nope. If it is, that's that fried brain cell from way back in the day that's missing that I can't remember. It's like a bad pixel on your TV screen. You just can't see anything in that zone anymore.
Some of that labradoodle, man.
That labradoodle, yep. It had me feeling like that picture of Jasper you sent me.
Yeah. Out, bud. Out.
He was knocked out.
Yeah. That's an understatement.
Dutch clover is still putting out nectar and all this dry. See, we had a bunch of rain and then it got hot. So I don't know if if everything's just delayed here or if it's done.
I still got plenty of clover here.
My Sam wants me to go get syrup from up in Charlotte. I'm not seeing one bee on Dutch clover. That means they got something else that's better nectar for them. Or better
We still got a little clover blooming here, but not a whole lot of it.
Yeah, and bees are not the primary pollinator for clover. They're, I think,
Bumblebees are.
yes, exactly.
Yep.
They will pollinate it, but if there's something better, they'll go for that first.
So James got the Vivo 4.8 frame. Yeah, I mean they're not bad.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Michael Buck left a comment on my channel the other day, was asking basically how if it was any good or whatever.
For the price, it's worth not having to hand crank the extractor.
If you can spin it
If it's
fast enough, it
real-
does itself.
Yeah, just get it spinning real fast and let it go.
That's what I did on my video.
Yeah. So
No.
the handle flies off when he lets it go.
Yeah, that's the thing, keeping that handle on that joker too. But
Mhm.
she worked.
You use JB Weld.
JB Weld.
JB Weld on that handle, and it does not come off.
That's a good idea. Because he flung that thing across the living room first time he did that. Like dodging bullets in
See,
here.
you could engineer something. You could find someone that's got a broke down washing machine, and you could hook it to it by a belt, and then you just turn it on spin cycle or something, so the motor turns and turns your
Well,
extractor.
I like Lee's suggestion. Just use a drill.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, just watch out when you let go of the trigger, though, because it does want to keep going.
Well, better
Yeah, that's
late
true.
than never. The popcorn must have burnt the first round.
Now, if you can rig
Charlie?
something up with like a bike chain with a rear sprocket, how it has that clutch in it when you
That's
stop
it.
Oh,
pedaling.
yeah.
You can just
That would work.
get an exercise bicycle, and then you can just sit there and
Pedal.
and turn your extractor.
Now we on to something, gentlemen.
Who's gonna pedal?
You're gonna pedal.
Yeah. Right. Get this planned out already.
So Lee, when you coming through mobile?
I figure sometime Sunday. I'm gonna leave work Friday evening, drive about 4 hours, and get a room for the night, and then get up and go to see Ed and Lisa. Hopefully, I'll be around at Ed's around 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning before it gets too hot, and then we eat lunch, do some stuff, and I figure get a room somewhere that night close to Mobile on my way back through.
Oh, I get
And
you.
And then sometime Sunday, I'm sure y'all go to church in the morning. But I mean,
Mhm.
after or whatever, I can swing by if y'all ain't busy.
No, I mean,
No.
we're usually out of church by noon.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, the door's open.
I'll send you an
Sure.
email and give him I can't remember if I gave him my number before or not, but I'll send you an email just in case with it.
All right.
So Tim almost talked me into it today about
Come
getting
on.
that BVAC. He said, I know you don't want to hear this, but you need to get you one of them everything BVACs.
I got me one. It works like a charm.
That's what everybody's
Yep.
saying.
I love it.
I was fully prepared to set that because of the way their roof was. I was just going to set the hive right up on their roof and let the bees walk on in. And you get there and they're gone.
That sucks.
But when you
Yeah.
do get that one, like we talked earlier, 10 minutes, boom, boom, back in the truck, headed to the house.
And it's rechargeable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mine plugs right into an outlet.
So Tim said you could just keep that in your work truck, and when you got a call, just go and vacuum them up real quick and keep them right in the truck. Then go drop them off, and then you're ready for the next round.
You can keep it turned on, keep that fan going, circulate that air. They're not going to overheat in there. I mean, it's the perfect setup, Bob. You got to get one.
Yeah, but if you keep the fan on, you might want to put it
Buy
down
for
at
$40?
the bottom so they can get some water.
What's that? Keep
If
the bottom
you keep
open.
if you keep the bees in the vac with the fan on for any length of time, better put a water source like a sponge or a wet towel so the bees can drink.
And dry them out.
Yeah.
It's better than the one I got now where they just vomit all over the place. They
What-
turn the
I think Mr. Ed or Dirt Roost or something like that, they'll like you can unscrew that top off that thing
Mhm.
and got a little bit of spray bottle with just spring water or just water in it probably.
Just spray them with water.
And you spray down in that mess right there, load them up real good, then put your little lid back on, and you won't lose a B1 out of that rascal.
Yeah, I was about to say you can spray a little water in it or just set a wet sponge on the top screen and they can come up to it.
I'm gonna have to wait till I sell some more Apis after today's order.
Yeah, I use my Colorado bee vac myself. It's sweet because once you
That's
get
in
the
the wood
bees
box,
inside
though,
it,
right?
yeah, it's the same
Right.
size as a medium.
The problem with the problem I find with at least the one that I used from Sam there is the wooden ones. If you're underneath a house or something like that, then you find yourself dragging that son of a gun underneath the house with you, and then you got to worry about the clearance. And that trailer I did, it was not fun lugging that box, which is why I bought that bucket vac.
Well, I've got a
And
10-foot hose for mine.
so you just leave it outside and
Yep.
run it in.
Yeah, basically, whenever I'm done with mine, I clean it out and everything. I'll just take the hose and I'll roll it up inside of the vac
That's
and
how-
put the charger and everything in there. That way, I don't lose nothing.
Well, where you been,
You got
Charlie?
everything, Lee?
Say that again, Tim.
You got everything?
Yeah,
See that?
Be back.
yeah, I bought that a couple years ago.
Now, what really intrigued me to thinking about is when you said you could strap that thing on your back like a backpack.
Mm-hmm. It comes with like a
Strap.
kind of a mesh material that wraps around it, and then it has shoulder straps on it.
I can just see me looking like the Ghostbusters climbing up the ladder, sucking the ooze into the box there. Charlie, what?
Well,
Charlie,
you got that other little deal you can put on your strap. Like I was telling you, you can just sit there and adjust that puppy right there.
The control
On your
for it
shoulder
plugs
strap.
into the top head, but it's on like a little retractable lanyard, and you can pull that around, and it clips onto the front strap.
and then you can just turn it.
Let me
up
see if I got mine in here.
And so yeah, I've been thinking about Charlie's at 1,100 subs now, thanks to Fox Plus.
Oh, that's awesome.
Congrats, Charlie.
I started the process of getting monetized.
Well,
Nice.
don't feel too proud because Grayson's at 1,000 now too, thanks to Fox
I know.
Plus.
It's like, my gosh.
Let's see if I can pull this up. Yeah, basically the control on top, it just plugs in on a retractable lanyard, and you can pull it out and just hook it on the front. And all you do is turn the little switch.
So how do you know if you're going too hard or too? If you turn it all the way up, it still won't smash them.
Oh, if it's all the way up, it'll smash them quick. Basically, I start out on low, and I'll put the hose up there, and I just adjust the knob until I start sucking bees in softly.
What is Fox Plus? That's a great question. Fox
We have no
Plus
idea.
is a person from the Philippines that has a big network of other, I would assume, Filipino viewers that he sends out and says, hey, watch this channel. And the next thing you got 300 people watching. And hey, these
Yeah.
guys need some subscribers. And all of a sudden, you got that happening. Except for me. I don't get
Except
that.
for you.
I get the views, but I don't get the subs.
There's a good idea.
I
Yeah,
Bob.
Joe-
would give one away. Yeah, yeah. I'm too cheap to buy one for myself.
Joseph wants to know where I'm going to spend all the money. I guess I'm going to have to buy a hive lifter now. But I really need to. I need to talk to you about that, Joseph. When you get on here tonight or something, or on mine Friday.
Are you
night.
going to buy one? Are you finally?
Well,
made
my
your mind up?
question is which one do you buy? He bought.
I was about
the
to
one
say
that's
he's
like
trying
a
to figure
hive
out which
dolly.
one.
He's got the dolly style, and then you got James has got the sort of like a forklift style. is
Well, you know what
I
I'm thinking, Charlie? If you got enough money to buy the more expensive one, why would you buy the smaller one? You're not getting younger. So you might as well.
Well,
just
it's not.
go ahead.
It's not the expensive. It's not. Each one does something a little bit different.
So I'm thinking, get the one with the motor that you can just lift it up and lift it down. Save your back for the next. Because here's my thought: you buy the one that's manual or whatever. and
No,
then-
it's got a motor, but it's designed differently.
okay. Well, maybe
But the one can put the like honey supers right up on top right up in the pickup truck bed, which I think is the better one. That's the one like James has got.
Grayson sends Bob Benny an email, and then he tells him when he can come on, and then I guess he just schedules them. We talked to Bob at Hive Life, and nice guy. I just think he's probably too busy to entertain me, with questions. And when we go live, it's maybe that's not what he wants to do. I don't know. We could probably get him if we asked him. No, Fox Plus is a person.
As we know.
Well, he comes on and chats with us.
That's right, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
He has power. I mean, he has tipped me, but it was like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I forget what it was in Philippines.
So he has done that before. So nice person. I've never met them other than them popping in the live stream. And he seems to like beekeeping, so he helps beekeepers out. He helped Grammy get up close to 1,000, I think, or might be at 1,000 now.
Speaking of subs, I'm going to drop a channel here in the comment for Luma Vista. If everybody wants to click on that, go over there and check him out, give him a sub.
Yeah, Todd at Loma Vista. Brian at Flower Street Farms.
He put out a what was it, a short today?
Brian has only 113 subs or something like that, which surprises me because he comes on here all the time and gives out good knowledge. And most of the time we have at least, like we got almost 60 right now. So if you're not subscribed to his channel, you're missing out on some good stuff.
Look like Brian's up to about 112 right now.
Yeah, I think I got 43.
Well, but you just started like 2 months ago, right? Really putting out stuff when you started catching some swarms. When I said, you need to make a channel and make these videos. So, and I think
I'm getting a little more used to it. So we'll see.
It's funny. I've been watching Castle Grounds Apiary's monthly reports, and I used to be near the top, like 1 or 2. But it's like he doesn't show the live stream part of it. And I think Charlie was trying to say, yeah, but we do lives. Go to the live tab. And I don't think he understood what you were trying to tell him to do when he was doing that live the other night, Charlie. And because most of our content is live streams. We do videos, but we do a lot of live streams. And
we pretty much do the live every week. Now, early spring, I'll start doing videos pretty decent, regular basis, once a week, twice a week. And then work kicks in, and I might go 3 months without posting a regular video.
Yeah, over here it's winter. I can't really make videos when there's like 3 feet of snow everywhere.
That's what happened to me. Is that last year at this time I was unemployed. I was just working bees, so I was putting out videos. This year, thanks to Chris, I got hired in October, and it was kind of slow, so I could still kind of do things. But man, when May hit, Lord have mercy, every day getting blown up with stuff every day. And even today, yesterday and today, I was slammed. And I was getting calls, and I was saying, okay, I'm going to be out the next 3 days, so I can come either Monday or Tuesday. What day do you want? So I'm already starting to fill that schedule for next week, And this week has been pretty busy as well. So, I mean, I've sold about $5,000 this week so far on Monday and Tuesday, through Monday and Tuesday. So it's going pretty good. We'll see what the check looks like at the end of the month. That'll be interesting. I might have to buy an everything BVAC if it's good. The bad thing is I got to take this money that I got in this thing over here and probably deposit it. So, to go ahead and pay back for this Apis I just ordered.
Mark said someday he might figure out how to do a video.
It's same thing as going live. You just don't go live. You're just recording it. And then you save it, and then you upload it. The good thing about videos is they're usually higher definition than
Yeah.
than the live streams are.
Well, like the live stream, what we own right now, I think it's 720.
720. Yep.
Now, Larimore, that's Keith, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And Keith needs to come get his Hive butler before I
How
use
about-
it.
I was about to say, put a video up and we'll watch it.
Hey, matter of fact, you should come tomorrow afternoon to get it because I might have my package.
Bob needs help.
Shipment might be here. I might need some help.
Yeah, we got Tim and Hannah back.
Try it one more time.
Technical difficulty.
Have you guys? I mean, is the nectar flow kind of slow in your area, right?
Mine's starting. Like it's starting to get serious over here.
But have you
not-
looked at like your nukes or whatever? Are they? I mean, I got nukes that are laying eggs, but I don't see lots of royal jelly. The nutrition value there is not there. So you think that? But I see honey in the hives, but some nectar. I mean, they're not dry, but I was wondering if I fed them, would that kind of boost their, brood production?
Worst
up?
case, you try a small quantity. Give them a small jar. If they chug it down,
That's what I'm
means they
talking
need it.
about. I'm talking about quart jars.
Over here, like it's starting to get serious. The bees are not interested in sugar syrup. And it's going pretty well. Like I said, I don't know if you were there when I said like I looked into my resource hive.
Hey, Spanky.
On last Saturday, and they were breeding. There were too many bees in the hive. It was on the verge of swarming. So I just pulled out 5 frames of capped brood and gave them empty undrawn frame instead. And it was my resource hive, so I just distributed it to my weakest hives to beef them up. I also gave them a honey super just in case.
I bet you if you gave them the honey super and put feed on top, they would draw that comb right on out. In that,
I don't care as much for those 2 hives. Those are my resource hives. I'd rather collect the brood from them and give it to the all other smaller ones.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your starter finisher.
No, starter finisher is in great condition.
With my starter finisher, well, I guess it was just my starter because I didn't finish them. But I put a box of 6 foundations on top with the feeder, and every time I'd come back, I'd have to remove the box of frames and put new frames in it because they would draw it out so quick.
The strange thing is they didn't I put a placeholder frame. Like during the week, I let the young larvae mature, and they didn't touch it. They focused on drawing queen cells. I just smashed them off when I got there on Saturday. Next day, there were 27s being worked on. So,
well, I probably pulled out at least a deep of drawn comb from putting it in the starter finisher, whether it was in there as a placeholder for a few days, but I had feed on them, right? So put the feed on them. They drew that comb out. By the time I grafted, I took that frame out and put it in a box that needed some drawn comb, put the cells in there. Once they capped those cells, I pulled the cells out. I dropped the frame back in, took the cells, put them in the incubator, and just rinsed and repeated. Just kept doing it. And by the time I was done, I had at least a deep full of drawn comb. Need to open Bob's Bee Land. Bees, honey, queens, and supplies. Well, we should just make the bee warehouse instead of bee wares, bee warehouse, and have like an old Lowe's or something that's empty. Make it just shelving and shelving of nothing but boxes and lids and jars and everything else. It's like the Bee Depot instead of the Home Depot.
There you go.
And then problem is that by the time you ship everything here and then ship it back to wherever it's going, then the price is out of whack. or you just don't make anything on it. It's
Yeah,
kind
my mentor's getting out of the selling part. He's still doing the bee part, but he's getting out of the.
well, he makes all his money selling the bees. You don't.
Yeah.
Bees are low cost of goods, right? Once you've got the bees, you can remake bees, and it doesn't really cost you anything but the feed. And when you go to sell pins and boxes and all that, you have to put the money out. Like this Apis, you guys think I'm joking? I will show you the amount that I just paid for Apis Biologics. Now this is Canadian, guys, so don't get too excited.
So you paid $19.95?
$2,997.50. So why did you order that, Bob? Well, it's getting ready to be feed season. People are going to start feeding. They're going to start buying. At least that's my hope. Otherwise, I just got $2,350 just tied up, sitting over here on my bookshelf, right? So, yeah, that's the gamble. So if all of a sudden people stop using Apis, then I'm stuck with 2,300. I'm stuck with a lifetime supply of.
It's about 2,200 worth in USD.
What's that?
It's about $2,238 for that amount of money, like the conversion rate.
Well, and ordering that amount got me free shipping from Canada, right? So,
Silver line.
Yeah, because my mentor sold 6,000 packages so far at 155. That's about 930,000.
just from packages.
Yeah, not including the nukes.
Of course, he does have an input cost on the actual box packages, right? And the syrup that goes in there. Whatever that is, whatever that cost is, I don't know. But
So,
Where's your mentor located at, Chris?
2 minutes from me.
You're
lives
catching
in
his
the
swarms.
neighborhood.
Those are the swarms you're catching. His swarms, right?
No, he don't have any bees. Not in our neighborhood. His are all. It's close to the border of Georgia. They got close to 3,500 hives. Where he personally has 1,500, and he co-ops with 2 other bee people.
Right.
He sells the bees for the other 2. The other 2 take care of the bees. That's all they want to do. They don't want to be the sellers. So he actually took over the selling part of the bees.
Hey, Bruce, good to see you.
So,
Hey, Bruce.
Lee's going to be down your way.
So he's not making exactly the 930,000. He probably makes about 150,000, and the rest go to the other 2.
Yeah, but
they're doing all the work.
That's over a year's salary. Some people's 2 years salary. Me, it's 3 years salary at this point. So,
Well, the biggest
comment.
thing is, though, I mean, if they're going to feed bees, is how much, like down at Hardeman's, they'll get a tractor and trailer load of sucrose in, I think it is, or corn syrup or whatever. And I think it's like $30,000 or $40,000 for that load. And then
I don't know what's hard on the other guys.
That's like every week or something like that when they're feeding. But they got about 8,000 hives too.
Right, that's a lot.
And on Gray's question here, I know as far as my bee stings, sometimes I'll have one hit me and I'll just get a little red dot on the finger, no swelling. And then I got hit last week on the knuckle and my whole hand swells up. So, I mean, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it ain't.
Sometimes you get stung on the back of the neck and it turns into a pimple because the stinger's stuck in your skin.
But I mean, I've heard different reactions over the years. Some people become allergic to it after so long. Some people, it's more of an immunity to it.
Some people end up in anaphylactic shock in the hospital.
Some people do. Some people don't take chances anymore either.
Whether you're allergic or not, I would recommend keeping them around just in case.
Yeah, I think about using those more when, like, every news station this year in our town has been to my house doing a report on bees. and I think more about using that on the newscaster that doesn't know if they're allergic or not when they show up.
Well, that was the main reason I got them. I mean, I hadn't had no anaphylactic shock yet. Yeah, you get swelling. That's one thing. But like when Ricky and Ruth come down from North Carolina, she's been stung several times. They said a little swelling here and there, no problem. But they were here. She got stung.
Bees. Them swamp bees.
Them swamp bees got her, and she went into anaphylactic shock, and we ended up at the ER. And that just made me think, even though I'm not allergic to it, somebody that visits here may be. So I went ahead and got the pins just in case.
Well, like in the newscaster, she didn't even show up like even prepared to be in any bees. She wanted to go in the bees, but she shows up in a skirt and open toe shoes and, you know, smell good on. I'm like, yeah, here's this full body suit for you. You know, we're going to make you a mummy.
Perfume or cologne or anything around the bees.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it was mine, so it was long enough to where she was actually, it was over her shoes and everything. She was standing on the pant leg to keep them out at the bottom. So, I mean, hey, you can wash the suit, but, you know, if she would have went to the hospital or something, I'd have felt bad.
I got a couple of the Guardian like jackets and veils here. Then I got just a veil, but I do have a full head to toe suit too, if somebody happened to need one or wanted it while they were here.
I can't find where I put my my little halter one. I need to find that. It's somewhere. It's in my stuff somewhere around here.
I got one more thing to bring up here real quick, and quote me if I'm wrong here, Bob, but some of my calendar was mixed up, so I had to fix it. But I believe tomorrow's your birthday.
Tomorrow is my birthday, number 53.
Well, happy birthday.
Yummy. So if you want to $BEERANC, if you got Cash App, you know what that means. No, I'm just kidding. I've seen that a lot lately, like people going down the highway that says just married, and then they have like their Venmo account on the back, buy us a drink or something like that on the back. I'm like, man, if you came all the way from like Michigan down to Florida, you're passing a lot of cars. Y'all should just, Tim and Hannah, y'all should just put that on the back glass of your truck. Just married.
I was thinking about being married.
And then put, buy us a drink. Here's our Venmo, and see how many people just send you cash randomly driving down the road. Oh, let's surprise them.
There's a new hustle, boy.
Put just divorced. She got the house and everything.
Have her waving as we go down the road.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, you want to hear a Southern joke? And I can tell this because I'm in the South.
Come on with it.
No.
Yeah, we can do that tonight because we're on Bob's channel, so we're good.
How's it go?
Do I need to have the beep key ready?
No bad language in this one.
I was going to remember you're in mid-count.
How are divorces and tornadoes alike in the South?
It ain't bad words, but I got you.
Somebody's bound to lose a trailer.
Seriously.
Right.
There you go. Thank you, Steve. Demonetized. There you go. Yeah. Hey, that wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad one. That's a funny one.
Good.
And if you're in the South, you really understand that.
That's what I was thinking. Boy.
You see people everywhere.
They have trailers.
Yeah,
up
marriages
north.
and trailers.
They have trailers up north, but
not as many as we have down here.
when I was up north, it seemed to me that the trailer parks are a little bit different up north than they are in the South. So you'll come into one in the South and you'll see a 1964 12 by 28 or something. You know, it looks like a cube and it's falling down on the outside and people are still living in it. Up north, and they may have them, it just hadn't been my experience, that they look, even if they're old, like my grandparents lived in an old 1960 something trailer, but they like had it waxed on the outside and it was clean and it looked almost brand new, even though it was 1,000 years old already. You know, here there won't be any underpinning. The tires will still be on it. you know, hanging underneath it.
I can't say nothing.
Am I lying? Hannah's
That's
laughing because she knows.
you describing our life, Bob. You describing our life.
I can't say nothing. I grew up in about a 1974 trailer.
Well, hey,
And that thing was what, 12 by 70?
yeah,
Probably roundabout.
I live in a modular myself.
I have a double wide now, but
well, the thing is that like my grandparents, it was when I was little, they had like, you know, the plastic that you would put on, like they make it for underneath your chair now with the little spikes on it. So your chair rolls on the carpet. You know what I'm talking about, for your computer desk. But they had like a long strip. It was like a hallway runner on the carpet. And it was just this plastic. So when they came in from outside in the snow, that they didn't mess their carpet up. And of course, if you're old like me and Charlie, you remember having plastic on the couches and everything, where they get a brand new couch. But look, Hannah's laughing. They have that whole thing encased.
There's a lady we used to run on the fire department. I mean, we run on her a couple times a week kind of thing. But her entire living room
was in plastic.
Couches, rugs, everything. There was not.
Couch is 40 years old and got brand new plastic on it.
It probably still smells new plastic.
Looks brand. You sit in it and you stick to it.
That's what I was going to say. Whenever you get up, you got to hold down a piece and get up.
To peel off of it.
Yeah.
Paul messing with me because I live in a double wide now. He said I'm uppity.
Oh no.
He's a high path.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with mobile homes, man. I lived in one in Florida. And hey, I rented it. It was I call it the trailer hood. It was in the trailer hood, and it had $1,450 rent a month. And that didn't include the lot rent.
Ooh,
so
that's high.
You wonder why I moved out of Florida? Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I just think you pull into one of them old trailer parks down here. Just turn around.
Pretty much.
You know you're in a good trailer park when they got the couch sitting out on the curb and it's not in the trash pile. That's where they sit in the afternoon and crack that beer open when they got home off the construction site. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen it before. Alex is like, what is this trailer park you're talking about?
Yeah. But when the truck seat, you're sitting up on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
When you know you need to leave.
Yeah, you got them old truck seats sitting up on the porch like she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they took them out of an old truck and they're just sitting there. They got their ashtray next to them.
That's it. That Miller High Life sitting there.
Hey, that's my drink there. Champagne beers. Yeah, my brother lives in a 55 and over trailer park down in Florida. And he bought this trailer. It's old. It is an old trailer. But he bought it for like $3,500. Now, here's the catch. The lot rent is $1,000 a month, but he owns the house. So, and that includes their water and everything. So he still has to work, even though he owns his home, to pay the lot rent every month.
Well, Bob, back to your joke.
Yeah.
I had 3 trailers when I was married that I rented.
1 got hit by a tornado and 2 got hit by your ex-wife?
No, she got all of them.
She got all of them? Oh, man.
And the land.
Oh, so she owns the lot too down there.
Yeah, I had 3 acres with 3 trailers, one trailer per acre.
Well, my brother moved into his retirement mobile home park before he was 55. As long as you didn't have children, you could move in if you were over like 50, is what they said at the time. And they have rules in those parks, like an
HOA almost, basically.
Yeah, they had the whole gated community deal down there, and they're like, you can have children here 1 week in the summertime. Like they can come visit you for 1 week in the summertime, but this is specifically for seniors. But those seniors, don't get me wrong, that was party central. Every weekend there was a cookout, barbecue, beer. They would have a swimming pool. They would hang out. Everybody's got their own little golf cart going around, you know. There, and Lord have mercy if you was a little bit younger. When I mean a little bit, when I was in my 40s and they're all in their 60s and 70s, and then find out that you can move a washer machine or a dryer or a pressure wash something, you could work all day, every day, getting on people's roofs, spraying their roof down, cleaning their gutters out, and all kinds of stuff. If you wanted to make a side hustle, you could down there for sure. But
Yeah, I've got 2 of those neighborhoods right around the corner from me.
But in case you haven't looked at the price of mobile homes lately, there ain't no joking about that, because they're about $100,000 for a mobile home.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. If you get the stripped down model.
The last one I was looking at after the flood here in 2016, they wanted 122, 123 for it.
Is that for a single wide or a double?
That was a double, but it was a big one and it was loaded.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you the refrigerator that was in it was probably 7 to 8 foot wide, had 2 big double doors, all stainless. I mean, it was nice.
And the funny thing is, the Canadians buy homes down there and pay rent for the whole year and only come down in the summertime, like just for summer home.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Most of them down here, the closer you get to that coast, you'll be surprised. There's a whole bunch of trailer parks down there. But all it is the snowbirds that come down here. They come down here for winter most times. Then they'll have their grandkids and stuff come for the spring breaks and all. But they full of them the closer you get to that Gulf.
Well,
now,
where
my sister had a friend she went to school with, and she moved to Canada. But when her mother passed away down here, she just had the house remodeled and rented it out. They still doing that, even though they're living in Canada, but they just bought another house down here, and that's where they're going to come down here for like the winters now.
I'm going to tell you, where I was paying, like I said, it was about $1,450 for the trailer. Now, you go 2 miles east to me, you're on Palm Beach Island, where Oprah lives, Donald Trump lives, they live right over there, right? But the funny thing with those houses, like to give you an example, Tiger Woods, when he got divorced and his wife got their Miami or Palm Beach house or whatever, it was $18 million for the house. She knocked it to the ground and built a bigger house on the same lot. They'd do that. These people that own these big companies, tax write-off. They knock it to the ground, build a better one, build a more expensive one. It's ridiculous.
I can buy a lot of land with $18 million.
Just a little bit.
I could disappear with $18 million.
If I had $18 million, I would disappear. Matter of fact, that's how y'all know. If I ever hit the Powerball, y'all will never see my fat white ass on a live stream again. y'all will hear about some big bee farmer somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna see Bob at the trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah, winning the lottery, I think I'd still be a beekeeper. Doing nothing is boring as I can't stand it.
Oh yeah, I would just have more land to keep bees on. A bigger place, maybe better nectar flow,
better equipment, everything.
Mm-hmm. A staff to actually work the bees for you. So you're just like Ian going out there and be like, hey, you do this, you do that. Well, Ian still works the bees, but you know what I mean.
More like Michael Palmer. He supervises the queens and the brood nests, and that's it.
And it does the accounting. The ching-ching. Yeah, you could buy 18 million worth of bees and make 9 million back. That's true. That's the I'm pretty much resolute in the fact that I came in this world with nothing, and I still got most of that left, and I'll probably leave with nothing. So, life goals.
Can't take it with you.
West Virginia bound with 18 million. No, I can't, but I'm kind of in the mode that I would like to now that I got a grandbaby coming, right? So now it's more like, what can I leave the grandbaby?
Beehives.
Yeah, that might be my only hope to get anybody in my family that wants to help work bees is, you know, live long enough to teach them, and maybe it'll go forward, you know.
I'm hoping I have some grandchildren that will take it up
and just kick the can down the road for them, you know.
Well, make it fun for them, Paw. That way they'll enjoy it. And you never know.
That's true.
Mom won't even bring them over here. My daughter won't even bring them over here because of bees.
Because of the bees.
Oh.
Just I think I don't know. I think that he will like it, hopefully, and want to do it. Get out there, and I think most little boys, at least when they're little, they like looking at bees and lizards and frogs and stuff like that. At least my nephews were all interested in it, and I was interested. My mom used to get mad because I had a honey hole. It was in Iowa where I could go, and it was this rock cliff, and there were so many garter snakes that would just come out like Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, the amount of snakes that were coming out there. And I would grab up a whole backpack of these things, and I would come in the house with a backpack full of snakes. And my mom was like, "What you got in that backpack?" "Nothing." She'd open it up, scream her head off.
Yeah.
And
I still bring them inside. I can't say nothing.
You did what?
I said I still bring the critters inside to show her. Look at this snake I caught, or look at whatever this is.
Oh yeah, if the first word he says is "look" when he walks through the door, I'm automatically backing up.
But see, you would have never saw Jasper. Look.
Do what?
You would have never saw Jasper.
No, I'm the one that found Jasper.
You found Jasper. You said, "Look to Tim. Look, a dog." He's
Well, that's like
"No,
a couple years ago. I had a guy from Texas mail me a snake, UPS. Well, the guy brought it to the house and set it down, and I walked out the door about the same time. I'm like, "You mind waiting just a sec so I can check to verify everything's good?" He said, "Yeah, no problem." So I go to opening the box, and I think about it. I look at him. I said, "You don't get scared easy, do you?" He kind of looked at me strange, and he took 2 steps back. He said, "What's in there?" I said, "A little snake." He said, "Okay." So he was a few steps back from me. Well, I reached in, and when I went to pulling it out, the more I pulled out, the further back he walked. I pulled out about a 7.5 foot red-tailed boa. Yeah, he was in the truck by then.
I'm sitting here, and I'm kind of jonesing, like I need to smack my veins. I haven't heard Charlie talk about single brood chamber management in a few weeks.
Nothing really to talk about right now. I mean, the nectar, we got a little bit of rain this afternoon, not much, but enough to wet the ground. And nectar flow's kind of drying up. It's by the end of the month, it will be over with.
I'm going to say when you would normally end it, give it 2 more weeks. I bet you get it.
Think so? I fixed the queenless hives, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. And last Saturday, I had 3 really booming honey hives that looked like to me they would draw wax. And so I put a super on top or a foundation. We'll see what they do.
Well, the magic date is 2 weeks from tomorrow. So 2 weeks from tomorrow is summer solstice. So things should start declining, but all my bees seem to be growing still and laying like crazy. So I'm waiting.
I looked at my nukes, and I mean they're getting reestablished. And yes, the queens are there. I see them, and yes, they have eggs in there, and there's honey in there, and some of them have open nectar. But I don't see the jelly, the real nice thick jelly in there when the larvae are doing their thing. And I'm wondering whether I need to get some quart jar. I think I'm gonna get some quart jars and put some 1-to-1 with a little bit of apis in there and feed them. See how that works for me.
I'm waiting on Lee to let this person in, because every time I go to click on somebody to come in, Lee clicks it at the exact same time, and they end up coming in and going out real quick.
I was looking at something on the other screen here, trying to find. Hey there, Joey. How you doing today?
I enjoy
All right,
it.
how y'all doing?
I want him to come on here. We need to do some serious talking.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, that's where we're at with the hives. I'm kind of like in I'm not messing with the honey hives right now. I'm just going to let them go, and they can cap and pull out the wax on these 9 framers. If they do that, and some of my friends have already started extracting. I just hadn't had time to do all that. Been busy farming and all that stuff. So Joseph, you got this video out. I see you had the hive lifter, which is more of the one you got is the more of a dolly style. Why did you pick that over the one like James has and what's his name in Mississippi?
Mike,
Duck River.
No, yeah, Duck River has one, and
Brad.
the other, huh?
Brad has one, right? Or Brad don't have one. Hive
Okay,
lifter.
my-
Mike Berry's
Thinking
got
about the
one.
one that lives in the same state as Lee. That's
Mike Berry.
Mike
Mike
Berry. So why did you buy that one,
Mike Berry.
Joey? Turn the mic on or something.
Well, my mic's off.
Yeah,
No,
you're
can
you
good
hear me?
now.
Hey, it's on now.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Part of that, I guess, is the growing up around farms and everything. A lot of us had tractors, and we never bought the same kind of implement that your neighbor had. You always get something a little bit different to go with your tractor, if y'all understand that. But
You can borrow your neighbors, and he can borrow yours.
right, one may be able to do something the other one doesn't. But I don't know if there's a real big difference in what each one that like between mine and Mike's. I hadn't used mine enough to know, but it's probably just in the handling. But that's basically why I chose that. I figured I could handle that dolly better than I could the one with the weight out toward the end, but I don't know that for sure because I never used Mike's. So I think,
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I do notice with yours is you can raise your boxes up and let it tilt back like a regular dolly, and it'll
Right.
just stay there
right.
and all.
It'll
And
stay there.
I'm looking at
You-
like the hives behind me where I could go in there, undo let's say 3 supers off the top of the brood chamber, break it apart and let it and back it up and I could work my brood chamber, and then set
Yeah.
the hives back on there. Now the one that Mike has, it'll do the same process, but then you got to raise it up into the air on it more of an angle in order for it to sit back on them back wheels and stuff. Now his also
Yeah.
is good. You can bring it around and let the boxes sit on the tailgate of the truck too. If you were harvesting honey, let's say.
Right. You can actually take these boxes to the truck too.
Can you?
You have to set it off on the tailgate and then kind of manhandle it, slide it from there. But
Right.
you can actually pick it up and put it on tailgate. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading
Okay.
DC's
Okay.
thing here. Well, my ground is pretty flat and all. I was just, I don't know how long
handles
it takes.
pretty good when you pick that weight up. When you pick that weight up and let it back, I mean, it's good and sturdy. It sits right there.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't seem like it's trying to fall over or anything.
Well, that was another thing I seen Mike's where it seemed to be a little bit, I don't know, they
Kind of
I won't
wobbly
say
after it gets so
kind of
high.
wobbly or top heavy type of thing.
Yeah.
That might
his
just be Mike. Mike just might be wobbly.
name James. Now see, James has got James. Why
It
don't you
wasn't the
come in here
name.
and compare the
Yeah,
notes?
so-
Yeah,
He's got
James
the
is-
other style.
Yeah.
lifter. Now he's using his to
pallets
lift
up.
those pallets, which I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. So I don't know. I like to get something as far as lifting goes.
Yeah, pellets are too close to the ground for me because my yard tends to have about ankle deep water when it rains really bad.
I like my backyard here. It kind of comes up a small hill from a canal behind us. And I mean, if it rains real hard for a couple of days, it'll come up close to the hives, but I don't think it would actually get in them. But in the flood of 16, the water was probably, I'd say 4 to 5 foot over my hives.
Oh,
So
really?
just in case we get a really bad rain here, I keep them up on the stands.
Yeah, my stands are at least 24 inches off the ground, as you guys notice in my videos.
Oh, look at this.
Evening,
There he
all.
is.
Hey,
Hey,
It's mighty
I don't know.
sunny there.
Oh, it's gorgeous here.
Hey, James.
Hello. I don't know how this'll work, as I am out at the apiary. So sometimes the internet's good out here, sometimes it's not.
It's pretty decent. No stuttering or anything.
Oh, perfect. So what's everybody up to tonight? I don't have a whole bunch of time, but I figured I'd at least stop in and say hello.
I made some grafts Saturday, and on Sunday I checked it out. 27 out of 30 took.
No, Roy to go. That's pretty darn good.
Much better than last year's 2 out of 60.
So, actually, I'll show you what I'm out here doing tonight. So it's interesting you say grafts because
blow him up, Lee.
I brought the incubator along. So I got a bunch of girls in there that are going to be going into, well, I brought a whole pile of boxes. So I got a project that I'm working on. So I'm hoping to have, well, I had the inspector out here last week. They went through everything, all fairly good. They found, out of my whole apiary, they found 3 cells, which are a little bit suspect. So we pulled those cells and we sent them in to get tested. So I just want to find out what's going on with those. But if those go good, then I'll be, well, I got a customer that's interested in about 40 of my hives. So that would be one of the biggest deliveries I've done here to a single customer. So that's what I've been busy working on, building boxes and frames, and been busy.
You're going to sell
Oh,
40
hi.
entire colonies?
Yeah, that's what
I'm going to sell 40 entire colonies. Yes.
Okay, so you know me, I'll chase a buck. So you're talking my language now. So, but here's the thing. Isn't that kind of counterintuitive to what your overall goal is?
It is. All I can say is stay tuned.
If the price is right.
Well,
So-
if you can sell 40 and still expand, then it works.
Well, I can sell 40. I've got well, right now I've been throwing doubles on them all. So the girls have been bringing honey and stuff like that in. In fact, any of my doubles, I have been splitting them about every, I'm going to say 3 weeks. And the queens are laying it up right from one side to the other, like nobody's business. So about every 3 weeks, if I split these, I'm having a hard time trying to graft queens quick enough, which is an interesting problem. I haven't had that one before. But yes, so we'll see how this goes. If I get the green light from the inspector tomorrow, I could be loading them up as early as this probably this Friday, and I would say as late as next Friday.
I already know what's going on. It just the light bulb went off. So let me see if I'm on the right path here. So we know that you had a very exceptional winter to spring transition and you had excessive bees. So you made splits into nukes. You sold the nukes, and your bees got too strong again, even with your expansion. But you
Twice,
were
in fact.
you were still limited on the amount of equipment that you needed to buy to achieve what you had envisioned for the season because your bees were so strong. So by selling 40 colonies, it frees up 40 pieces of equipment, and it still allows you to hit your goal for the season.
You're pretty close. And
he's going to ship them
and
over to
cash flow.
Manitoba, right, James?
yeah, that's
Is the guy named Brad buying your stuff? Just tell us.
No, that's quite the trip, that one. But no. So all I can say is stay tuned.
Well, that's interesting. See, I was thinking the same thing. So you know that you can sell nukes back to Florida in the fall. And they will buy them at basically wholesale price, right? $100 a piece back down to Florida. But they'll buy as many as you can produce. So technically I could probably make 50 good nukes to send back to Florida, which would be, I mean, it's only $5,000, but
There's the lifter.
Oh, yes.
Well, Joseph here has got the other version of that lifter. We were discussing pros and cons of both.
Got her.
And I mean, I know that you're using yours to lift the pallets, whereas Joseph is just lifting the supers up, I'll say.
Well, I do that as well, but mine's mainly for lifting the whole pallets up.
Brian says you're going to be funding. Oh, he hit the wrong button. He'll be back. I think you're onto something too there. So wait a minute. He didn't say how much. So if he's selling 40 colonies, if you're getting $300 a nuke, you got to be getting 500 for a full colony, right?
Well, the colonies are more expensive than
So Brian just hit the nail on the head, I think, in his comment. He said,
"What's that?
You're funding your extracting line by selling 40 colonies, and then you can buy the license line or a line."
So, like you said, I'm not going to give it away. I've been working on this project here for, I'm going to say, 3 weeks, almost a month. So it's
you better get your order in, because I still haven't gotten my uncapper that I ordered several weeks ago. That's been in town for a week already.
Oh, what do you do? So I don't know if you saw the yard, but we've got 2 yards like this now. This one here, I don't even know what this one's got. This one's got to be close to 80 or 90 colonies in this yard alone. The other yard's pretty close to the same thing. So I've had an exceptional year so far. Now I will throw it out there so full disclosure. The 3 suspected cells that they found, and like I say, we need the testing, but we went through all of these colonies, and the 3 suspected cells they found, they are possible European foul brood. So I mean, you can treat for that, but it's also a concern as well, right?
But that's, I mean, it's still not bad with the number of colonies you have to only have 3 that are
3. Oh no, 3 cells.
3 cells.
Yeah, 3 cells, not 3 colonies.
All right, 3 cells is all we could find.
Well, you remember the mite colonies that I had?
Yep.
So, I treated outlaw wise, right?
Yep.
And you saw the mites, and they did something very strange.
Oh, what's that?
So a few weeks later, 2 weeks after you left, we had that cold snap. Okay. All of those old bees wiped out, with the exception of the queen, some nurse bees, and brood and larvae that she regenerated. It's like they just dispatched all of the possibly infected bees.
Huh. Well, here's one for you. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yep.
See the mite count? 0.00000. Oh, one mite in 1.0000000 out of the 25 colonies that the inspectors shook. They could only find one mite in 2 colonies. So grand total of 2 mites is all they could find.
Out of 25 colonies?
Out of 25 colonies that they tested, yep.
Hey, well, I got you beat because I found 25 mites in 1 colony that was half a colony. It was a 5-frame nuke and it had 25 mites in it.
I'm not sure that's the race you want to win.
But I dispatched them.
There you go.
That's good. And the colonies are growing back. They have less numbers of old bees in them, but it's like the blooms fell off the bush and it bloomed again, you know.
There you go. Well, I was going to say, I'm about to get into my my grafting colony here. I have no idea what this last round of grafts took or didn't take. Haven't checked, but the cells should be capped. So actually, they should have been capped last night. But it was rainy and cold and miserable here last night. So they've actually been in there one extra day, which is part of the reason I have the incubator here too. But maybe what I'll do is I'll see, I'll get my smoker and stuff going and get a suit on, and maybe I'll see if I can put that on here as we open it up. We'll all see what I got for grafts in there together. Maybe Alex beat the crap out of me here on this grafting round.
We'll see.
Yeah, I doubt that. You're a much better beekeeper than I am.
Well, I'm gonna put you guys down here so I can listen, and I'm gonna get dressed up. We'll see how this goes.
So Charlie's gonna write the check tonight, because I swear to God, if I gotta listen to another year of Hive lifter stuff, I'm gonna drive to Maryland, and we're gonna have a man-to-man discussion.
I should have had that up, but like I said, I've been extremely busy the last 3 weeks. You guys will understand what's going on.
Yeah, my biggest thing, James, is just which, the one that Brad has versus the one that you have. What's the best one for me? That's what I'm trying to determine.
You know which one it is? The one that you wrote the check for. That's the one that's going to be the best one for you. Yeah. The one that shows up, Charlie.
So look at it this way, Charlie. Mine will do everything that Brad's does.
Yeah.
Brad's won't do everything mine does.
Yeah, well, I definitely can tell that with yours, you can lift your, let's say, supers up, and you can place them right on the back of the truck quite easily. Correct. and stuff like that. I don't need to lift any pallets up, but I got a friend of mine here. He called me today, and he was talking about he had to move, I don't know, 15 or 20 hives once a year, and and he was doing it by hand. And I'm like, man, you need a hive lifter.
I'll be honest with you. I'm too lazy to lift them by hand. I'm just being honest.
Well, hey.
Well, now see, the thing of it is, now Brad did say, and you also, I think, stated that the one that he has, you have to be kind of manhandle that thing.
You got to be the size of Brad, yeah.
How's Brad getting along? Have you talked to him?
I haven't talked to him now in a little bit. The last I saw was his video there on the weekend, so I think he's getting ready to do a queen rearing course. So that'll be good.
Well, I haven't talked to you either. You've been kind of out of the loop.
I've been absolutely busy.
I knew you were. And I call him, it's like he's at work. I'll text him, hey, what are you doing? I'm working. What do you think I'm doing?
Hey, you guys are inside the hive. What are you doing?
Yeah, I see them.
Did you wax that foundation, sir? It doesn't appear to be waxed.
Yes, I did. Well, and here you go. So this one is not waxed. Pardon me, that one is waxed. This one here is not, because you see the P?
Premier.
This is the one that Premier sent me. So this is going to be the test frame. And I've got 2 of them set up here to do the test on them there now. So Look at this. Look at this, Bob. I'm walking around. See the bees flying around me? Look, they're not stinging me. They don't care. I can do a jig out here, and they still don't care.
Hey, mine don't care. Now they did when you were here. They're not caring too much right now.
Yours are just spicy. All right, I'm going to set you down here. We'll see if this will work because you're going to go on my iPad.
If you're not worried about it, why are you putting all that gear on and suit and everything?
I was waiting for it.
Why do we got the commercial beekeeper interruption right here?
I'm putting all the gear on because this is a starter finisher hive. They haven't had a queen in a long, long time. These girls could get grumpy, and there's a lot of them.
No, Canadian bees don't get grumpy. You can do the jig in front of them. They don't do anything. There's bees under the feeder, though.
There's lots of bees under the feeder.
Hey, that's more bees than some of my colonies had them in at the beginning of the year.
I think you're right.
Hey, James, one of those colonies they went into medium super and they laid 10 frames of brood in there.
Oh, well, you can't complain on that.
Well, it'd been better if they would have put 10 frames of honey in there.
I got more bees under the lid and on top of the lid. Did I mention even in between the foil?
I don't even have foil on my colonies. I need some.
All right. Let me see how I can do this here.
This
Will that foil put us in a bind down here with the humidity?
What, that Reflectex?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It just keeps the lid from getting stuck to the hive.
I got you.
Yeah, I forgot to put one on my starter finisher. That was fun.
And that way you don't have to pry that lid off the first box there and damage it all up.
All right, so I have not been in here, so let's see what we got. Besides a whole lot of bees.
James, actually, why are you wearing your little brother's bee suit today?
Why am I wearing my little brother's bee suit? What do we got? Well, this one's not looking good, Alex. This one's looking like 100%.
Nice.
%100%.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was my second attempt at grafting, so I'd say 90% is good.
You're doing
we got to
awesome
say
if that's what you got.
Second year of grafting, not second attempt.
Well, third attempt, second year.
Okay. Hey, it took my third attempt to get like 10 of 13 or something stupid.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just going to throw these in the incubator right away, and then we'll pull the other frame.
Okay. Live beekeeping. Flexing the flow suit. I see some of y'all got that. James didn't catch it.
Them lifters y'all chirping about. What's the puppy start out?
You probably don't want to know.
That's
1600.
I think it's 1300. I can look it up. I have the site where they sell it.
What's that? The
Hive lifter?
Hive lifter? I don't know, Joe. What's it? About $1,800.
I think mine was about 15.
15. The one I think that James has is more like 18 or better.
So, Charlie, for $300 more, that's
around
30 bottles of honey.
16.
Oh, you muted.
Go ahead, go again, Joe.
You froze on us.
I said, time I paid the shipping and everything, it was probably around 1,500, 1,600.
Right.
Charlie, buy once, cry once. Go ahead and get the big dog.
I looked it up, and the one that's really interesting is $1,430.
That's
The
probably
B,
one
the
Joey
B
got.
model.
I have the B1 electric.
What are you looking at, Alex? B2?
B3.
They should have painted it white and called
Is
it
the
B3.
B3 the one that's got the hydraulic cylinder? You get,
I think that's the one Nathan has.
yeah,
Cheaper than back surgery, Charlie.
absolutely.
Yeah. I want to get one as soon as I have a vehicle big enough to transport it. I'm getting one of those, and eventually an easy loader.
Watch. Come to Friday night, Charlie be like, well, I went ahead and ordered my Hive lifter. I went ahead and got the B5000B eliminator.
It's going to get delivered before Bob's uncapper.
Oh God, you know how mad I would be. I'd be
Yeah,
so mad.
I did a. Yeah, I just I guess I did a Bob. You know, I just went ahead and bought it.
Did you buy it?
Huh?
You're gonna buy it? I know you are. You might as well just go ahead and get the bigger one. It's only $300 difference, Charlie.
Absolutely.
You'd be so mad if you spend $1,500 and you're like, you know what? I should have just spent the extra $300, and it's only 30 more bottles of honey, and you know it paid for itself in 5 years, just like everything else we got.
It wouldn't take that long.
Yeah, I agree with Bob on that. Like, buy once, cry once. That's why I went from a 2 frames to a 30 frame extractor.
Well, you know, that's like they're talking about these extractors. I hear on Facebook on a couple of different clubs that I'm sort of close to. And we got a brand new extractor here, and they're hand crank, you know, and it's like they're, you know, they went ahead and bought all that stuff. One guy bought one of them Chinese jobs, and he started to crank, and guess what? The darn handle broke. That's how piece of junk that thing was.
Yeah, I try to avoid buying Chinese knockoffs as much as I can. It's not always possible, but I do try.
That's what I
How
started
about
with. I
hiring
think it was
some
a 3
school
frame.
kids? You got to be kidding. You can't hire nobody.
I actually had someone send me a message on Facebook. Said, I've got a few years of beekeeping experience. Are you hiring? No, I'm not. But I didn't answer him back. But it's like, it's nice to know that someone is looking for beekeeping work.
You know what?
I should sell you some colonies. You can start your own bee.
Well, that's when you tell them you're not hiring, but you're doing an internship.
I'd pay anybody that would work with Bob's bees.
Hey, I'm going to say that too. I'm going to send you the form so you can fill it out to employ me a helper.
All right.
I see you, Tim. If I would have just spent $2,300 today, it might have been on the agenda. But that was. Oh, I don't think this is 100%.
No, this is looking pretty darn good too. I think that I have one out of one cell that didn't take. Let's take a look.
How many grafts are on that? 30?
No. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of 12 on the top. 12 out of 12 on the bottom.
Not bad. So out of 96, you got 95 take. Is that right? That's wrong. 12 and 12, 24, 48.
Yeah, it'd be
48 minus 1.
47.
47 out of 48. That's pretty good. It sounds like about a 98%, right? Something like that.
99, something like that.
It's pretty darn good either way.
My average has been about 96% this year. So
Well, that's 97.9% you got right now.
I'm going to go throw these in the incubator, and I'll be right back.
I wonder how his return rate is. on mate. Probably pretty good up there right now.
So far, all the ones that I got from Mark has come back mated, and they laying pretty good.
Not bad for a rookie, Russell says. Anyone try 48-hour cells yet? What's a 48-hour cell? Just pulling it after 4 days or 2 days?
And put it in a cell and let them finish it into a nuke. But you got to have a good strong nuke to do all that.
I haven't tried it.
Bob Benny tried it. That's one thing you're talking about.
The only things I've tried are the flyback splits and the walkaway split that everybody does, but the flyback split does get better results, a lot better.
I did try a walkaway split one this year. I took a nice frame of bees and brood and larvae out of one colony and moved it into a 2-framer with some bees that was in there already. So not a lot of bees, but a little bit. See how they do.
I don't know. I think dropping a virgin in there really, it's so much better. It kicks out a lot of the guesswork.
The only thing I don't like about a flyback split is you having to cut out the cells without damaging them. Can be pretty difficult.
What is a fly? I mean, I know Gus Mitchell talked about it. I've never seen
is
a video.
You find the queen.
Yeah.
You take that frame and put it in a box along with 1 frame of food and 8 empty undrawn frames. You put this in the place of where the colony was, and you take everything else and you move it to another spot. That basically turns the old hive into a giant brood factory and a giant queen making factory because they're suddenly queenless. The old hive, the queen suddenly finds herself into an empty hive, and they go into overdrive drawing and setting up the new comb for her. I would not recommend going into that hive a few days after, like even a week after. I made that mistake, and I ended up with a tornado of angry bees because from their point of view, they just lost everything, so they get hyper defensive. So if you do a flyback, leave the old queen alone for at least 2 to 3 weeks.
So, Alex, you're talking about cutting them cells off in foundation, messing them up.
Yeah, well, I have plastic foundation, so cutting the cells from the frames of the flyback split, I destroyed at least 4 or 5 by accident. Because when they're clustered, like when there's 2 or 3 like right next to each other, it's really, really hard to separate them. Or if they're placed in a weird way, I damaged like I said 4 or 5 at least.
Well, it's be expected. You're not going to get everyone.
Order you a spoon carving knife. And buddy, you talk about save themselves. They'll just roll right on off of there, and you can get as close as you want to with that foundation. And we've had
that makes sense.
Better luck.
It's much better.
You know what's weird? I saw a video about spoon carving not long ago.
Yeah.
You can get them on Amazon for about $8, and they work perfect. You could just roll. All you got to do is just roll your hand in one single motion and get them off there.
Is that what you're talking about? It's called a hook knife.
No, they're shaped like a ring with one side bladed, right?
They got that one, but they had one that was a little bit more. They got a couple of different ones.
The top left is the one we're talking about. take you a little rat tail file after you get it, because it's kind of awkward trying to sharpen that thing with it bowed the way it is with that hook. But just take you a little rat tail file and run across that puppy after you get it. You can sharpen her up nice. That's it right there.
And let's see, I believe that one $17.95.
That's probably 100 Canadian.
And maybe with that little case too. We didn't get a case. We just got the knife. Just in case it didn't work, we didn't spend a bunch of money. But yeah, I'll definitely keep those dudes around.
James, you getting ready to graft some more?
I'm gonna get ready for another round. So I don't know if you guys can see these frames, but this is what I like to see in my cell builder. Like, they are just packed on there. Now, I got a couple of these frames. What I try to do every time around is make sure that I'm dropping in some new frames of emerging brood. So some of these bees, they're starting to collect a lot of honey, which isn't what I want in my cell builder. So what I'm going to do here tonight is I've got 2 more frames here ready to go. So notice there's 2 different colors. So the red and yellow, I just ran out of red, but the red is for Carnolian queens. The green are for my Italian queens. So I can keep them separate. But what I'm going to do here tonight is I'm going to drop them in. So I like to drop these cups in at least 24 hours to let them polish the cups. I find I get much better takes from them. But I'm going to pull probably 4 or 5 frames of bees out of here. And everybody fell down. There we go. So I'm going to pull 4 or 5 frames of bees out of here. And I'm going to drop a new queen into here, being as that these are starting to get older bees. So I want young, freshly hatched bees in these cell builders. And you can see that. I should have showed you. There was a couple of the cells that just weren't getting capped quite properly. They were all capped, but just not quite properly. And that's usually a sign that your bees in here are starting to get a little bit older. I want to get those old bees out, and I want to get some new bees in. So
would moving the starter finisher...
What's that?
Would moving the starter finisher get rid of the forager bees?
It would, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'll show you how I do this. Bear with me 1 second. Boy, I didn't think this was going to be an instructional night. I just kind of thought I was going to log on and say hi. Give me 2 seconds.
Hi.
You're going to have to start charging.
So everybody super chat the Bob. No, I'm just kidding.
Look like we're losing Joey down there again.
Joey's on vacation, I think. He's at a campground. But the
he put a pallet down, I think.
I like how it's clear sky up there still. It's 10 o'clock at night here, and it's still bright and sunny over there.
It's a good thing. It's the only way I get long enough days to work the bees.
Well, what time is it Canadian time?
8 o'clock.
He's probably 7 or 8 p.m. over here there.
I'd say, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's 7 right now.
Mountain time or Central time? He's on.
I think
he's on the West Coast.
Is he Pacific or Mountain?
No,
I think he's.
I think he's like Mountain time.
Okay, it should be like 8:20, almost there then. So I'm Central. 7 o'clock for DC.
All the smoke came to New York the past 2 days, Matt said. James lost his camera.
Yeah, I just looked it up. In Alberta, it's currently 8 p.m.
8 p.m., so he's 2 hours behind us.
The sun's still shining good up there for 8 o'clock. I mean, it's kind of getting a little dusky around here about 8 o'clock.
There he is.
Well, I noticed
Yeah, I
whenever I
just
went to
had,
Nebraska a couple years ago for a job, heck, I think 9:30, it was still a little daylight up there.
All right, what you got, James?
Oh yeah, I'll show you here. 1 second. All right. Here's what we got. So as you know, I hate making small, weak splits. So I just brought a pallet over, but in the front of each pallet, you can see how I blocked them in. So I got the screen and everything all down here. I don't know.
So treating them kind of like a swarm.
So treat it almost like a swarm. So I'm going to pull 2 to 3 frames of bees. Now, normally I wouldn't do a split with anything less than 3 frames, but if you guys saw the number of bees on these frames, I'm probably getting enough bees there anyways. The trick here is I don't have any brood. So I have to find some brood from another hive. So I'm going to pull out a frame here that is all hatched out, both sides. All right, it's got nectar in it. And I'm going to do that with a couple of them here. So you can see here, they almost got this one full of honey. So those aren't the bees that we want to be growing new queen cells. Now here's one that I just put in that I'm going to drop in there. So it's all brood. It's cap brood, and it's hatching. So this is exactly what we want in our starter finisher. This one here has all hatched out and loaded on both sides. This one is emerging brood. We're going to leave it here.
So you're going to make 3 colonies.
I'm going to make 2 splits, and then I'm going to boost. This one's still got emerging brood on it, and then I'm going to boost my my starter finisher here. Yep. All nectar. Okay, so now what I've got is I've got 4 frames of emerging brood and bees left in the starter finisher. Each one of these colonies, let me see if I can get you down in there, an idea of how many bees are on there. 2 frames of bees, 2 frames of bees. I'm going to go get a frame of brood and larvae to put in between. I'm going to replace the frames here. So I'm going to put 4 frames back in here of emerging brood. And then these 2 over here, I'm going to drop 2 brand new virgin queens in. I'm going to do that now. I just got to figure out where do I want to get some brood. I could pretty much pick any one of these colonies, I'm sure.
Now, with your cell builder, don't you want to put a frame of pollen next to your graft and a frame of nectar?
Just watch. Oh, young grasshopper. I mean, old grasshopper. Patience.
Old grasshopper.
Patience.
Instructional video. You see a UFO?
There's a UFO. There goes 2 UFOs.
Yeah, I see a couple of them up there.
See how they're laying that up?
Yep.
On both sides. This is one of my breeder queens. So they are emerging. I just want to make sure she is not on here. And she is not. I'll be right back. I'm going to go throw this in one of the colonies. Let's see if we can find another frame like that. So all I did is I just literally picked right in the center of the colony. But I don't know if you guys can see down there. She is absolutely rocking this. So I'm just going to pull the next frame over.
Those look like all brand new frames that were in that box too.
All 2023. They drew them all this year.
That's a good looking frame too.
Both sides. So I'm going to make sure she's not on here. I do have fresh eggs. I got fresh larvae. And there's the queen. So she is on here. Let me see if I can show you this girl. I don't know if you guys can see her right down there in the corner.
Yep, yellow dot.
Yellow dot. So this frame's just going to get a get out of jail free frame card, and she goes right back in there. We'll pull the frame on the other side. And lo and behold,
That's even a better frame.
both sides. I know my queen's not on here. I'm going to go throw this in, and I'll be right back.
Tim's going to draw back a nub.
We're just going to pull the next frame right over.
Another slab.
That's insane.
Love my bees. Be right back.
But they're so bland tasting. You need a little spice in there. Little Cajun spice. Some Tony Chachere's in there. How do you say it the appropriate way?
Tony Chachere's.
Chachere's. See if we see any more UFOs. I did see. There's one. See it right above him?
Yep.
What's that?
You got like a white UFO thing flying over you in the sky.
Oh, those are still probably water bombers. Alrighty, I'm just going to drop brand new frames in.
Is that Italian or Carney colony?
This is my breeding Carnolian. So she's one of the two bees I spent $1,200 on. But I'll show you guys just so that you can see. I'm just going to pull the next frame out here too. This side's all laid up. And I'll be able to go across. She will have probably 12 to 15 frames laid up like that in there.
How long will it take them to draw those 4 frames out? Or 3 frames?
Well, I got a little bit of a flow going on right now. So they'll have these 3 frames drawn out probably, I'm going to say, within the next week to 10 days. It's not a big flow. Okay. I'm going to put her all back together here. And now we're going to go answer Charlie's question. So he's absolutely right. I want open nectar, which I have on that one that I left in there. And then I want pollen frames. So right over here, as I go through, Where did it go? This box.
Your yard's starting to look like mine.
No, not quite that bad. So pollen, both sides.
Nice.
We're gonna drop that in there.
You got enough supers for all them hives?
I do. And pollen. I don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah, that's loaded.
Right.
Yeah,
right
that's
back.
pretty crazy.
Both sides.
How much does the beekeeper's assistant in Canada help pay?
How much? Well, I don't know. What would you pay me?
What would I pay you? I'll be smuggling queen cells back in my pocket through the airplane.
Yeah, with the queen piping in your pocket while you're on the plane.
I'll just have earbuds in with the music up real loud so they think it's the music from my headphones.
So I'm going to ask everybody out there, and I can't see the comments, so hopefully you guys can see the comments and read it to me. What's one of the things I got to watch for any frame I put in this starter finisher colony?
Queen cells.
Eggs.
Eggs. So I got to come back basically tomorrow and the next day before I drop. I'll pull these out before I graft into them. I need to ensure there's no queen cells in here. Absolutely.
Ask me how I knew the answer to that one.
The hard way.
The hard way. Sounds like Jasper's got a squeaky toy.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
My bad, y'all.
Oh no, I barely heard it.
The one that he finds the squeaker in the squeaky toy.
Okay, I need one more brood frame. And I'm just going to go anywhere. Let's see. Let's just go right beside it. Bear with me a second. So this is a split that I did. Which would this be? This would be 3 weeks ago. Not bad for 3 weeks, eh?
Look like that hive might be a little more spicy than the others.
Yeah, I didn't smoke this one. I don't smoke my my starter finisher, but so 3 weeks ago I got a let me see here. Not much on that side. But what do you think of that?
Okay.
That's pretty impressive for 3 weeks.
Now I do have a queen cup of which I'm going to get rid of here. It's just a cup. It's a dry cup. And I'll throw that in my starter colony. And I just got to grab a frame to put back in this one.
Mike said you're dressed like you're at my place.
Oh, no, I got it all. It's just... And that one's put right back together. All right. So, I don't know if you can see here. I'll try to go through what I got. So, old emerging brood, new emerging brood, new emerging brood. Oh, pardon me, not this one. This one is pollen. my grafting frame, nectar and honey, my grafting frame, pollen, new brood, old brood. And she's set up ready to go again. I just have to make sure that when I come back, before I graft in here, I need to go through those 4 cells or those 4 frames I put in here and ensure there's no cell built up on it. That'll just absolutely ruin it. Now over here, here's as small a split as I would make.
It's a lot of bees, though.
And in this one, the exact same thing. So the good thing with these doing it this way too is those bees have never had a queen.
So they'll take any queen you give them.
And I just happen to have 2 in the incubator here.
You gonna direct release, or you giving them a cell?
No, I'm going to, I haven't had really good luck with the whole direct release thing.
Mike says pinch that queen. She's too good.
Not a open hell. This is her last year.
Even at $1,200?
This is her last year.
I would graft until that well ran dry.
You right about that.
All right. So, I don't know if you can see in there.
Yeah, those grafts are from the $1,200 queen.
Right.
Carney or Italian?
This is a Carnolian.
Oh, there's Bradley.
I just got to set you down here. Okay, so there she is. They will go through and eat that candy out.
And she's virgin.
And she is a virgin.
Does she have attendants in that cage?
She does not.
Okay.
And this one, let me see how I can do this here. Bear with me 1 second. So this one here has got to go into a cage. So this one literally hatched about 4 hours ago. Let me see if I can set you guys up here.
So that's that tripod everybody talks about. I need to get.
I think I have a cage here somewhere in one of my pockets.
Looks like direct release time. Oh.
No. Like I said, I haven't had good luck with direct releasing. Come on out, girl.
She's a pretty queen. Oh, can't see her right now. There you go.
Where'd
nope.
I go?
There you go.
There you are.
She looks incredibly calm. Is that because she's so young?
Yeah, they're kind of like that, Alex.
Trying to get you guys so that you can
Ouch.
see, but I don't know how I can block you up here.
Here comes somebody.
I bet you that's Alan.
There's still 4.
The cameraman pull it up.
Cameraman's coming, James.
Oh, there's Alan. Yep.
They're right to her.
Mommy.
Those are Corey Stevens queens.
No, these are James McNally's queens. Actually, I got these from Well, from California. I'll have to get the exact information, but they have the line that can be traced back to Europe.
That must be Alvarez, I think, isn't it?
Something like that, I think. Yep. All right, these are locked in. New queens. Get this one here covered up. Still got a few bees on the back of this board. Done like dinner. Two new hives. Refresh the starter finisher colony. New grafting frames in there. Cups being polished. Tomorrow I should be good to pull them out, and the next day I will graft and throw them back in there. I should have everything all reset by then. I will also throw a pollen patty in here right away. There's pollen and stuff in there, but I still find they've been, especially grafting cells, they're going through about 2 pounds of pollen per set of cells. So give them everything that they need and everything they want.
Now, when you let them polish, do they actually put wax to themselves?
They'll wax the just the very rim of it. So just the very rim.
That's what I found.
So there you go. An instruction video.
Very good.
Just got to close up all my pollen and stuff over here. So I still have a couple more frames of pollen. And as I go through and do inspections, I'll pull those pollen frames like that out. So I have it, I find I give them the pollen substitute, but the best pollen I still see is the best thing going. Sorry, Charlie, I got to do this to you.
What's that?
I got to move that that pallet now.
He got to use his little lifter.
Are those queens that you got, the breeder queens, are they artificially inseminated?
Yes.
They're guaranteed to have.
Guaranteed genetic line, yep.
Nice. I'd be too gun shy to buy that kind of queen.
Yeah. God hates a coward.
I'm not scared with my money on some things, but I haven't had good luck with California queens out here. But I haven't bought any $1,200 California queens.
Yeah, chicken.
I won't even buy a BVAC. Hey, Alan.
How's it going?
You didn't bring the cold beer with you?
Yeah.
Is that your new truck, James?
No, that's Alan's.
Look, Brad brought the popcorn tonight.
One momento. I just got to move this pallet. So I was going to get you to film it. So, is it still
Pop
going?
that up, Lee.
Still working.
Blow it up. Now, is that balanced, James? Right there?
It's balanced, yep.
Yeah, I definitely want one of those.
A little bit tight there.
Just the way we like them.
That's the Charlie's typing in his order form right now. I'll be really surprised the day that he says, "Bob, I did it." I went ahead and ordered it. Yeah, you can't beat that. That worked really well.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, that's it, guys. I'm going to sign off because Alan and I are probably going to go to the other bee yard and take care of the bees that are over there now. So.
Well, we appreciate you stopping in.
Thank you.
No worries. Have a good night, guys. And, for all the people that are watching, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay tuned for the special project. You guys will, lots of guesses out there, but you're not exactly close yet. Take
Not
care.
exactly. He's probably trading 40 colonies for a new line or for a used line.
A new cow
Why didn't
line.
we think of that?
Oh, well. Have a good night,
Thanks,
guys.
James.
Have a good one.
Appreciate all that.
All right, good night. Yeah, that was interesting. Brett, how's your bees?
There's a number of them that are really catching on, so I'm encouraged.
That's a good sign.
I did a count today for the first time.
And it wasn't as bad as you thought it was?
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
You probably still have more colonies than me.
I don't know. How many you got?
61. Ish.
Okay, so really what I counted was what's left over from last year. What is alive today and that I think might make a little honey crop that was overwintered. That's what I counted. So I'm still trying to count my winter loss, right?
Right.
75% loss.
Ouch.
75% loss. I put 148 into winter, and I have maybe 40 that might produce honey out of those.
But that's just out of the winter ones, though. But you have made splits and nukes since then, so you're on the recovery rebound side of it.
Well, I'm working on it. I don't remember. I maybe have that many more new ones,
right?
That should grow up for winter. They're probably make a little bit of honey, but that's next year's hopes and dreams right there.
That's a tough number to swallow.
Yeah, when I did that count, I thought I actually got to 37, and I was done counting, and I thought, oh boy.
But what can you do, right? I mean, you just got to pick it up and go with what you got.
I'm done crying about it.
Well, the good thing is, if there's a sunny side of that equation, at least you do have. Well, you're not using that comb, though, right? From those colonies, or are you using some of that comb, drawn comb?
Generally not. I'm trying to cull everything that I can. And using my honeycomb from last year as much as I can. And so I took this picture today. I get my melon out of the way, and it kind of might look a little better than what it really is, because the stands almost look like there's hives there, but most of them are empty, or a lot of them are empty. I cleaned out the yard today, and most of this row is gone. And the nukes that I had, where are we here? The nukes that I had over in this row and throughout actually the apiary, I've moved into my building for, make them forget where they live, and then I can put them in the nuke row over here on the 3-way pallets.
Right.
So that'll be tomorrow morning's work. Move them out. There's about 40 of them there, I guess. And then transfer them all into the 6-frame boxes.
So they got about your honey flow starts right around the solstice, right, or a little bit after.
Plus or minus, yeah. I think it's usually a bit after.
Well, you got a month for them to draw a comb out, or close 2-3 weeks for them to draw a comb out, and if a flow hits, they'll draw it pretty quick, right?
Yeah, they're not going to draw comb. I don't need them to draw comb because I have
You need them
all
to
the
draw
honeycomb that I
bees.
need to put in there. Yeah, I need them to make babies, and then have a good population by early July. Yep. So that's what's going on. Just been cleaning up, actually, having a queen rearing workshop on Saturday. So just been cleaning up, cut the grass, all that sort of stuff. It was a more than excessively high nosema infection.
Well, I don't know if you caught when I was talking about those nukes that had the high mite count in it that I treated and dropped a whole bunch of mites off of them, but then it was like the bees culled all of the old bees out. All of the ones that were, not the brood, but the bees. They just eliminated them. There was a pile of dead bees, and you open it up, the numbers are less, but they still have a laying queen. They have nurse bees. They have everything, but just a smaller population. And all the infected bees that had mites on them, gone, wiped out.
Wow.
So one side of me was like, well, that's bad. But then it was like, no, but that's good because they fixed their own problem in some sense. They did wipe out I'm not going to say they wiped out the whole issue, but it's like they took care of their own problem after they were, the mites were eliminated.
Well, stop me if I've shared this before, but something I learned recently I found fascinating. Deformed wing virus, and we all know that that's a big one as far as mites go. This presenter was saying that there's really only 3 pathogens in the world that has both transmission methods. It can be transmitted by mouth, so it can be transmitted by trophallaxis, and also transmitted through vector through the hemolymph and the fat body from the mites. So he said that that makes it very, very lethal because the mites infect the bees, and then the bees infect each other, and they infect the brood when they feed it, and all kinds of stuff. So he said that deformed wing virus is just brutal on the bees because of that. It's highly infectious.
And have you noticed? Well, I see Michael Book talking about tea tree oil works for him, but we don't have the issue that they have. His bees have a problem because 6 months out of the year they're locked in the house basically and can't move and can't go poop like ours can. You look at my work truck and it's got bee poop all over it all the time, and yours don't get the opportunity to relieve themselves, so it backs up and causes issues for them.
Yeah, nosema definitely rises in the bees over the winter. It's generally like spring is definitely when it's going to be the highest, and then it does start to drop as as you start to feed the bees and they start to cleanse. So it'll drop pretty fast after that. But when you start with 50 million spores or more, game over, as
Right.
I learned. It's brutal.
Now, you're going to treat that old comb? Do you have to do anything with that?
I'm rendering it, to be honest. I'm taking everything I take out, going into the honey house, into the melter.
Just scraping it off.
I scrape it off, preserve. I'm able to render it cool enough that it doesn't ruin my right cell foundation. So I can scrape that off. I'll probably pressure wash it, if I can. And then I'm going to take the frame, the wooden frame part, when I'm done, and I'm gonna cook that in the melter with some sodium carbonate washing soda, just to get it nice and hot in a nice bath, and hopefully that'll freshen things up a bit. Well, I know it'll kill the nosema spores. Like the render will kill all the nosema for sure. Nosema spores are not really that hard to kill. You can kill nosema spores apparently as low as I think 30 C, but it takes 2 or 3 days. I saw a chart recently. I can't remember where I saw it, but they're not that hard to kill. You don't need it that hot to kill them, but it does maybe take a few days at that temperature. So therefore, you could do it without melting the comb.
Just set it out for a week in the sun.
Yeah, well, I could just put it in my melter. I could do it in my warming cabinet.
Right.
Because 30 C is not going to melt the wax. But that would apparently 2 or 3 days at 30 C in the melting cabinet, which is not that hot. I mean, you know how hot your queen incubator runs, and that's only about 32 C, so it's not very hot.
Right. That's a but the thing is that this year may not be good, but it will, like you said, refreshen your stuff, give you a fresh start, give you new stuff. Not the way you wanted it to happen, right? I mean, but I think you'll rebound strong.
Yeah. Trying not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I'm also trying to take it seriously and do everything I can. And
right.
I kind of thought that I've got enough honeycomb that I can do a serious and dramatic cull of comb. Culling. So I had a 75% loss. So I'm culling all of the dead outs. So I'm rendering 75% of the brood comb that I have.
Brad's saying is he's going to have wax for sale.
I'm getting actually a good little amount of wax out of it. It's not really that much, but I'm getting some wax out of it. So yeah, it's coming along.
So can the bees are they just getting the nosema while they're in the barn, or are they going into the barn with a certain amount of nosema?
I think it's the latter, and my impression is that really nosema is like varroa mites, that you kind of have it. Everybody has it. I'd be surprised if anybody didn't have some nosema. It just gets out of control, or it doesn't.
Well, I think, Matthew, I think the answer to that question is one reason is because they can go out and poop. So they're constantly flushing it out of their system. And the other reason could be the higher temperatures in the colony.
Well, that's a good point. I never thought of that, but it's been like it was 34 C here today. And those hives get pretty hot. I mean, the hives run 32 C, just normal brooding temperature, so it's not really that much hotter. But yeah, that's a good point. I had not thought of that, to be honest.
So they might already be clean of spores. You're double working yourself.
Well, and to extrapolate on that idea, the bees, when they're in the winter shed here, are not brooding, so the temperature is only about 26, 28 degrees C. It's a little bit cooler. It's a little bit. It's 5 degrees cooler when they're not brooding, and that's one of the interesting things I saw with my broodminder temperature sensors. Is you can see where the temperature kind of bobbles along, around 27 degrees or so, and as soon as they start brooding, it just goes plunk up to 32, and it bobbles along up in there.
Is nosema not worse in the spring because of dampness also? Well, I mean,
might be thinking chalk brood, but I don't know.
It's hard to say. Hey guys, we've been going for almost 3 hours. I know Lee's got to get up in like 3 hours for work, and so we're gonna probably have to call it for this evening. We appreciate all of you guys, and especially everybody that joined in and the super chats for my birthday. I appreciate all that, and we will. Oh, there it is, pop up again. So, hey, if we kept going, it would be my birthday in about an hour. But
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you. I'll be big 53 tomorrow.
Sorry, Alex.
Still a baby.
Still a baby.
63.
53. I wish I was 63 because I'd be only 7 years from retirement in the States.
Retirement at 70?
70 here now.
Wow.
Yeah, they keep moving it up on us.
Yeah, well, because we're living longer, so the government doesn't want to pay you that retirement, the Social Security longer. So they keep bumping it up. So yeah, we're, I've got oral surgery tomorrow, and Lee's got to work, so we're gonna shut the live stream off right now. And we appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping in with us, and we will see you on the next stream. Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Take it
Good
easy.
night, everybody.
Tim looks like he's about to fall out over there.
Ain't be long. Ain't be long.
All right, have a good one.
Y'all
Bye,
too.
y'all.